Elder Barawak, Nazerene Hebrew Institute of Faith.
The day of the Lord coming. Now with hugs, now with peace will fight. False prophet talk smooth, but the righteous burn hotter. Let's bring the heat. Did that 2 Peter 5, truth never tired, element melt, word in the pie. He coming back, not sweet but dire. Heaven roll back, skies on fire. False teachers talk, we expose a lie. Law in my heart, spirit my wire. The righteous ride, wicked expire. Oh yeah, did that 2 Peter 5. They stole lies in the temple hall, told the people sin and still ball. But Peter warned they doom been sealed, chains of darkness, truth revealed. Noah preached while the world play game. Fire coming next, remember the flames. Sodom burned, I barely fled. That the same heat coming for the dead. Marker laughs and where's your God? But the blood came fast, they fraud. Now it's 5-time earth reserve. Every time they lie finna get served. Jumping day like a thief at night. Righteous glow with eternal light. He coming quick, keep coming white. The world sleeping, we in the fight. World in the pie. He coming back, not sweet but dire. Heaven roll back, skies on fire. False teachers talk, we expose a liar. Law in my heart, spirit my wire. The righteous rise, wicked expire. Oh yeah, it's that 2 Peter fire. They love pleasure more than faith. Mock the truth but can't escape. They walking after lust and hate. I full of sin, that's their fate. Why the just man suffer, stand tall. We wait on new heaven, new earth that call. Element burns, fall. Prophecy real, no myth at all. Every word revealed by flame. No more shame, no more gain. The day of the Lord, judgment reign. Ain't no peace with them that profane. So I move clean, watch and pray. Keep my sword sharp every day. The world pass, but you gon' stay. He coming back with fire slay. The day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. The heavens shall pass away with a great noise. with fervent heat. Just that 2 Peter 5, truth never die. Element world in a pie. He coming back, not sweet but die. Heaven roll back, skies on fire. False teachers talk, we expose a liar. Law in my heart, spirit my wire. The righteous rise, wicked expire. This that 2 Peter fire. Righteous and rain. The wicked had their seed. Now the kingdom burns clean. All praises to the Most High.
All praises. Shalom, family. This is Nazerene Hebrew Institute of Faith. We're not affiliated with any camps or hate groups. We got a special guest today. He's going to be doing a presentation. And we, audience, just to let y'all know, we are allowed to, we talk behind stage. We're allowed to ask questions during this presentation. It's a long presentation. At any time, he agreed that anytime we could stop him and ask questions on this for full cross-examination. So I'll try to pay attention to that because I'll be taking notes and asking questions too. And so if I do miss any questions, please make sure that you probably have to rewrite it or something so I don't miss it or whatever, because I'm by myself today. And so I won't be able to keep up with all the questions in the chat if we need to stop and ask him a question. Just for the record, he agreed no profanity, no name calling. If you got guests, he invited some people into the chat. I expect for our family and our members and our guests as well. Be respectful to the guests coming in. That's Torah only. Let's respect each other. Let's not call each other names and all that. This is not a debate because I'm not doing any type of presentation. So this is full cross-examination of what I disagree with. And we might point some things out we might learn together, right? So I just want to point that out about the rules. The brother's camera don't work. I'm going to give him time to talk, and then I'm going to ask him a few questions before you go live, because I don't want to butcher your name out. So before I get back to the audience, how do you pronounce your name?
It's Araya. You can call me Araya.
Araya. Okay. That's fine. Araya. Okay. And so his brother's name's Araya. He's having issues with his camera. I believe sincerely that he is. He tried to get it right. So for some reason he couldn't, because I'd rather have the cameras on, so I can see who I'm dealing with. But as long as he's respectful or whatever, I believe it's him. I don't believe it's somebody in his place. So I have seen him on Facebook and all that. So, it's been a long time coming. He's been trying to get on here and show that I'm wrong, and teach us about this. So I'm going to humble myself and be respectful, and I expect for everybody else to be respectful. So before we get started, bro, with the presentation, I got a few questions I want to ask so the audience will understand. Your position is that Jeremiah is the suffering servant of Isaiah 53, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and then do you have a YouTube channel where you teach?
Yes, I do. It's called Devari HaTorah, and
Okay.
here I'll try to pull it up real quick.
Yeah. Because I didn't know that. You must have just started that because a couple of years ago you didn't.
I've been having it for some years, man. It's just that I don't really push it because, like I said, I go into depth in the Torah a lot. So a lot of people can't. Let me find it. Hold on. A lot of people can't handle it. So when it comes to that, then they kind of get, you know what I'm saying. So the people that appreciate the in-depth Torah study and into the linguistics and stuff, they watch it. But here's my channel right here. You can see everything that I have. I have playlists. the Suffering Servant series. I had a
Okay.
few debates from when I was on debated Hakai and Genesis. Them. Uh,
Right.
I got a lot of videos from my Hebrew teacher Mitz and from Shael.
Shia, yeah, I'm familiar with him. Don't know him personally though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my immediate teacher, and Mitch
Right.
was his teacher, and so I got
Right.
a lot of stuff, different stuff on there from lessons that from Shael, from Mitch to everything. And what I do is I basically just go into the grammar, and I look and see if it basically saying what it says, and I don't
Right.
basically don't deal with the doctrine. I just deal with what the text says.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
if it says this, then that's what it is. If it doesn't say that, then it's not that.
Okay. And um, also, um, my question also to that, speaking to that point, is that um, are you saying that the prophecy Isaiah gave is, he speaks in present term as far as like it happened right there and then. So is he using that as a prophetic perfect in reference to the future towards Jeremiah?
That
Or
is
is it
correct. That is
okay?
correct. It is a prophetic perfect because
Okay,
Isaiah 53 is written in the perfect tense, but it's a prophetic perfect about Jeremiah.
gotcha.
When you look at the grammatical syntax, you look at the same words like a sheep. I was led to the slaughter, and everything word for word. The suffering servant songs of Isaiah are speaking about Jeremiah's coming and what he was going to be doing. He was told that he was going to be a prophet to the nations. This servant was going to be all that. And so when you line up Isaiah 53 verse by verse, you see that Isaiah fulfilled those verse by verse.
Okay, and so in your presentation, you're going to show that through Isaiah 53, line by line, that he fulfilled all those prophecies from 53 to 12, 1 to 12,
Is
correct?
that at first I'm gonna go through 53 each verse. First I'm gonna go through I'm gonna show that Isaiah 53 is not sacrificial language. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
We're gonna talk about the word Asham. I'm gonna show you that Asham just means guilt, and depending on the verbs and nouns that are used in the context of that, depends on if it's sacrificial language or if it's courtroom language. And so
Okay.
so you don't see any temple, you don't see any altar, you don't see any blood, you don't see any Kohen in Isaiah 53. And so I want to show the difference between when a sham is used for sacrificial language and when a sham is just used just plainly as guilt.
Okay. All right. So we got everything, family, and we got his answer in here. And shalom, shalom, everybody that's coming in. I don't have time to greet each and every person. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I will say Yohanan and K Judah. Y'all keep the chat honest. And if y'all got any questions, anybody in the chat, please post them as we go, as he does this teaching. And I'll be asking my questions as well. I'm real familiar with the courtroom language. I respectfully disagree with that. That's just a scholarly terminology. But I am familiar with the sacrificial language, and I do have some questions about Asham. I know that you're more intermediate Hebrew. I guess you had told me that. I'm a babe in Hebrew,
I'm
but
still a
I do
babe.
understand.
I'm still a babe, just like you. I just, you know what I'm saying. I'm
Well,
still a babe.
I mean, you had told me, hey, I got to be respectful, but you're entirely different now than how we was dealing with each other. You two different people. You was
I'm
kind
just
of
being respectful. That's all, man.
nah. Okay, well, that's
But
okay.
I'm a
That's
babe.
okay, and I'm glad you are though, because
I'm I'm only two
I,
years. I'm only 2 years into this Hebrew into this
yeah, but
Hebrew.
I mean, so you further than me. I'm just starting my Hebrew class, but I remember you told me
Okay.
you was top notch in your class for Hebrew, so
Oh, now
it's okay.
that is true. That is true. You
Yeah,
ask Shael, he'll tell you.
yeah. So, but anyway, I am familiar with just from the education of understanding grammar, syntax, nouns, abstract nouns, and all that. So I'm real familiar with that, and carrying over to learning Hebrew, I do understand that too. So let's get started because I know it's a long presentation. Everybody, if you got questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be asking my questions, and we can go from there. The floor is yours.
All right, Khan. Thank you. All right, so the presentation is of Isaiah 53 is courtroom language and not sacrificial language. All right, so the claims that I'm about to prove is that Isaiah 53 and 10, it lacks, Isaiah 53 as a whole lacks temple, ritual vocabulary. Therefore, it should not automatically be read as a sacrificial text. Asham has the same legal sense, and you'll see this in Genesis 26 and 10, meaning liability and guilt, not necessarily a ritual offering. All right. So in Isaiah 53 and 10, we do not explicitly find markers such as altar, priest, blood manipulation, offer up, pleasing aroma. None of these vocabulary words are mentioned in Isaiah 53. And so when you look at Isaiah 53 and 10, it is not describing a temple ceremony. All right. Now, the word Asham, it does not always mean a guilt offering, right? If you go to Genesis 26 and 10, you will see that Abimelech asked Abraham, why have you brought this Asham upon me? So does that mean that it is a guilt offering as well in that? There's no sacrificial language. There's no temple. There's no blood. There's no pleasing aroma. There's nothing in that passage as well, the same as Isaiah 53, to mention that it is a sacrificial language. So it's the same context and the same grammatical structure as used in Isaiah 53 and 10. So are we to assume that it is a sacrificial language as well? Or is it just simply mean guilt? Was Abimelech just saying, why did you bring this guilt upon me by not telling me that Sarah was your wife?
All right, so I got a question for that from the beginning. You just said that guilt, right, for this particular context is the same language as guilt for Isaiah 53, correct? Asham.
It's the same standpoint.
It just means guilt, correct? Now, you being more advanced than I am in Hebrew, you are familiar with nouns and abstract nouns, correct?
I'm familiar with nouns and abstract nouns.
Okay, so in context, when we deal with Hebrew grammar and syntax, from what I learned in Hebrew, that the same word that we use in Asham can mean, in the context, it can't be a guilt offering in this particular language because the same things that's used in Micah, right, or Hosea is the same word here for Asham.
Let's look at it. Let's pull it up. What verse? Micah what? Can you hear me, Brock?
Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I fell out.
I can hear. Yeah, what verse in
Micah? It was
what?
Hosea. I meant to say Hosea 5:15. Please forgive me.
Hosea 5:15.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask: is that word the same as in Genesis, guilt?
Let's see here. You sure it's Hosea 5:15?
Yeah, I believe so. It says, until they acknowledge their guilt against it means guilt culpability. You're in Hosea 5:15?
Yeah, it may be different in Hebrew because the verses. See.
Because if not, I can pull mine up.
Yeah.
You want me to pull mine up?
Yeah, pull yours up because it's not. I'm not seeing Hosea 5:15.
Let me see if I got it because sometimes I'll be all over the place. 5:15. Oh, spelled Hosea wrong. H-O. All right. Here's Isaiah 5:15, the verse. Let's look at the tools.
I think you mean Micah 3.
Can you see it on the screen? All right. No, I'm right. I'm right. What I said. I'm
Right,
going to
Hosea.
pull it up on the screen for you.
Okay, let me see it. Let me see it. No,
No, no. Let me get. Hold on. Just relax. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I just want to show it, and then that way we can look at it together, and then you can tell me if that's what it is. All right. Share screen. All right. See right there in Hosea 5:15. The word of Sham. Right here. Acknowledge their offense. And see right here, Psalm. You see that on the screen, bro? Hello? Are you there? Your mic's muted, bro. Your mic's muted. Your mic's muted. Can anybody hear me in the chat?
I had to mute my mic because somebody.
Okay, I just want to make sure because sometimes the internet messes up. So you see that word?
Yeah, I
that's
see it
the
right
same
there.
word, right?
Asham, right?
That's the same. Right. So that's Hosea 5:15. So the question that I'm asking you, because there is different context when I said noun, abstract noun, me being a student asking you, are you saying this same word that's here and the same word that's in Genesis, you agree that's the same, correct?
That's the same word. Same word,
Okay,
same form.
so you're saying that same word in Isaiah 53 is the same exact word as well.
It's the same exact word right there.
And that's when I disagree. Now let's go there because that's why I asked you about noun abstract nouns. And the reason why I asked you about noun abstract nouns is the language that's used in Isaiah 53 is the same language that's used in Leviticus 5. So let me get to Isaiah 53 and then I'm gonna let you continue to go. It's because I don't want to hold you up, but I just want to point out.
No, I want you to go ahead and get that because I'm glad that you brought that up because Leviticus 5 is in my presentation, and then they're going to see the difference between that and that. So go ahead.
Okay, all right, good. So we'll go to Isaiah 53, and we'll look up where's that word. What would that verse? That word would be in Asham and Isaiah. Was it 10? Going off the top of my head for Asham. All right. Now, if you see in context, right, we looked it up together. We just looked up and you agreed that both of those guilt offerings was different. That those definitions we looked up in context does not say an offering for sin. It does not say that. It gives a distinction. It gives a distinction. When we looked up Genesis and Psalm and we looked up Hosea 5, those was just guilt. It wasn't an offering. This is sacrificial language right here. Those two were not sacrificial languages. That was just like saying, let me use for the example. That's like saying, man, I feel guilty for cussing somebody out. That's different from this language in Asham. So there's a distinction with Asham. Now, I will let you go and address this, but when we look on the manuscript, this is what a noun and an abstract noun is that I see. And that's why I have an issue with the word Asham, because in context, there's no reason why Amalek would be talking about a guilt offering when he's just talking about feeling guilty. So the word means in context guilt as being guilty in something, and then here it means as offering a sin. And we looked it up together. Now, I'm going to let you deal with this because you know Hebrew better than me and explain to me that. And here it's saying in context is dealing with the sacrificial language. And if you look this up in Leviticus, the same definition is in Leviticus chapter 5 and the rest of the sacrifices and other places as well that I'll show. But then in these two that you just used, they're the same. And then I have other verses.
Before you click off your screen, can you go back to Hosea 5 and 15 on that blue letter?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then I don't want to be holding you up because I got a lot more that I want to.
Okay, and so what you're saying right there, you're saying in Hosea 5 and 15, based on the blue letter, that the word Asham is there, correct?
No, I'm not just basing off the blue letter. The Brown Driggers says the same thing. If you want to use other concordances,
the question I'm trying to ask you is that what word is used there? Is it word used there offense or is it used there guilt? Because What I have is Yasimu.
Okay, so what I showed you,
and Yasimu does not come. Yasimu is it comes from the word Asham, but it's not the same word Asham. Yasimu is a conjugate of the word Asham. And in Hosea 5, let me finish. In Hosea 5:15 is a causative imperfect third masculine plural. So again, Yasimu and Asham, it's not the same word. So that right there, so we could kill that argument right there. When you go,
all right, so hold on. Let me
I'll let you talk, brother.
No, I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I got confused. I'm not trying to overtalk you. I just want to understand because you said something that I didn't understand. So you said the word in Hosea 5:15.
Hold on, I'm about to show. Can I show my screen? I'm about to show everybody what I'm talking about.
All right, but I just need you to answer that, and I'm gonna shut up. Just trust me. I just want to hear you say that the word I showed you in Isaiah 5:15. That's not Asham. Is that what you're saying?
It is a conjugate word of Asham. Show my screen. Share my screen. I'm showing it right now. I got it pulled up.
All right. So now you're saying that the manuscript don't say that. I'm confused.
No, I didn't say that the manuscript didn't say that. I'm telling you right then and there. What you're trying to do is take that root word that is used in Hosea 5:15 and say, oh, the root word there is Asham.
Well, that's what it says. That's what it says on the man. What does it say in Hebrew?
Are you going to keep cutting me off, or are you going to let me finish, brother?
Right. Okay, go ahead.
I let you talk, and I let you have the floor. You said to be respectful. I'm being respectful to you.
You're right, brother. You're right. I apologize. You're right.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Can you read this right here? What word is this right here? What's the final word right there in Hosea 5:15? Hold on. Let me switch the screen real quick.
I don't see where you at.
Hold on. Let me switch the screen.
I tell you, I'm a babe in Hebrew, man.
I got to switch the screen real quick. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, so here is Hosea. Can you see my screen now? Here's Hosea 5:15, right? This is the word right here, the final form. Do you see Asham? Please tell me you see Asham right here. Now, you have the root word Asham right here. That is the Sheresh root. You know what the Sheresh root is? It's a 3-letter root. That word, just because the 3-letter root word is in there, doesn't necessarily mean that it's that word. That's why when you click on this right here, 8:16, it says it comes from this word. It does not mean that is the word. It comes from this. That's why it has. Look at all these definitions down here, brother. You have the Nephi stem. What does it mean in that? You have the Hipha stem. What does it mean in that? You have this word. What does it mean in these different stem forms? That is exactly why it has a different stem form. Let's see what Leviticus 5:5 says. His guilt. It's a derivation. Yasam, right? Yesam, right? Imperfect third masculine singular. Click on another one. Let's see what it says in Genesis 26:10 or Leviticus. What was the one that you threw up that you said Leviticus 5:7, right?
No, I said Leviticus 5:4.
5:4. Okay, since we are already here. Right? So we said the word of Sham. Let's see. Right here. Wait Assam, right? But you see the difference? We got the conjugate, the conjunction verb right there, and his guilt. But the difference is all in this chapter is blood mentioned, it's sacrificial mentioned, it's a Kohen mentioned. All those things, that is the difference. When you go back to Genesis 26:10, you don't see these things mentioned. You don't see these things in Isaiah 53. You don't even see those things in Hosea 5:15 that you mentioned. You don't see any Kohens. You don't see any sacrificial anything.
So
it is guilt.
So my question now to you is, as you teach, you're saying the manuscript that we just looked at in the Hebrew manuscript that word is not there, Asham, because I just looked at it and that word was on the manuscript there when we looked at it. So that's what. Then you went to somewhere else. So is it too?
Where else did I go to? I showed you.
No, but what I'm asking out of confusion, because this is confusing to me, because you're saying that it don't say that, right? And it does say that the word is Asham there. I'm talking about in the Hebrew. in the Hebrew. So what manuscript is you using to say it don't, or are you just using a concordance to say that? Is the manuscript different than the one that I just showed you in the blue letter? For I'm talking about the Hebrew, because you know Hebrew better than me, so you would be able to show that.
We're looking at this manuscript right now, the Leningrad Codex.
All right,
it's right on the screen.
So that is the same manuscript that I went to, correct? That's the Leningrad Codex too, right? Would you agree?
No, the blue letter Bible has errors in it.
I didn't ever say that. I never said that. I said, the manuscript I went to, that is the Leningrad Codex. Do you agree? Yes
exactly. Or no? But I just said that it has errors in it. I just pointed you and showed you the error right there, right?
No, the Leningrad Codex is just the text. I went to the King James Version. That's what has the errors. Now, a lot of
that blue letter Bible Hub has errors too. It's full of errors, brother.
Everybody has errors. All transcripts has errors, bro. But for the sake of us going back and forth, I'm going to let you go on. To me, you didn't prove to me that it was different, but I got to respect that. So let's move on from there and go with your presentation and continue. And I might have other questions. But I do know this as a student, that word that you just showed in Asham is the same word that I just showed in the blue letter. The manuscript does not change. Maybe the definitions and the translation errors can be, but the manuscript says Asham. That we can agree. And if you're saying it don't, then I have to go get my Hebrew teacher against yours to see who's right, because I see it and my wife speaks it a lot better than me, and she said the same thing. That's the same word on the manuscript. Now, if you're telling me it's not, I have to take your word because I'm not that well studied in Hebrew to correct you with that. So we can move on. I'll put your stuff back on stage and we can continue because I don't want to keep interrupting you only when I have questions, which you agreed about. So I got to give you the floor because I gave you my word on that. But I just want to move on from that, and then we can ask other questions if the audience got questions, because I want to hear your position on Jeremiah precept and everything that happened. So the floor is yours, bro.
Like I was saying earlier, you have Asham used in the legal sense, and you have Asham used in the sacrificial sense. All right. Now to continue on with the presentation, right? You have Asham, 2 Kings 12 and 16. Kosep Asham wa Kosep hata ot la yubai bet yude wahed le konim ye. Here we have the words highlighted hata ot in the Psalm. Why? Because in the KJV, what does it say? It says guiltless, offering for sin, trespass offering, and a sham, right? Guilt offering. That's what it's going to tell you every time. But it's not going to tell you that depending on the context of the that it's used in and the grammar around, if it's sacrificial or not. Now you see, both are using the same verse as nouns, masculine, singular, right? You have it right here. Let me see here. You have it right here. Punishment for sin, right? Hata ot. That's a punishment for sin, right? And see, brother done threw me all off with all this right here, man. But anyway, we're gonna go to the next slide.
Take your time, brother.
Don't worry about it.
Don't get frustrated, bro. We just disagreeing with each other.
I'm not frustrated. You just threw me off a little bit. You know
I apologize for that, man. But I mean, you teaching me, so I gotta ask you questions, man.
No, that's cool about the asking questions. You just threw me off right there. I'm trying to get back on track.
All right, okay.
Jeremiah 51 and 5, right? So we have right here as well. We have it showing this Asham again. Kilo Almani Israel, Wehuda Melo, Yahweh Sabaoth, Ki, Asam, Melo, Asam. Mikidos Israel, right? So when you go and read that, is that a sacrificial offering as well? And I'm bringing up all these verses and all these things to show you the difference between when it's used as sacrificial offering and when it's just used as guilt. Same vowels, same stem form as Genesis 26 and 2 Kings 16 and 12. The patak under both consonants. So again, is this sacrificial offering? In this verse, Asham is used for sin. It's used in the legal construct. Let's get 2 Kings 16 and 12. Right? Let's just see what it is, the legal construct. Let's go to the KJV. Actually, let's go to the Hebrew textual. And when came back the king from Damascus and saw the king, the altar, approached the king to the altar and made offerings on it, right? You see the difference? You see the word Asham in there, but you see offerings, you see altar, you see all those words. Same words as in Leviticus 5 that he brought up, Leviticus 5 and 4 that he brought up, but you don't see that in Isaiah 53. That's two witnesses right there per Deuteronomy 19 and 15. But let's get back on this. What was the other one? Genesis 26 and 10. Let's see what Genesis 26 and 10 says. Let's see if we see sacrificial language or anything in that. Let's see if we see 26 and 10. My bad. And said Abimelech, what is this you have done to us? Might have lain with one of the people with your wife, and you have brought us this guilt. But you said it was the same everything because of what Hosea 5 and 15. So again, why does it not mean sacrifice right here? Why does it not mean blood sacrifice right here? 2 Kings 16 and 2, Leviticus 5, you have altars, you have offerings, you have all that stuff. Genesis 26 and 10, you don't have that. You don't have any of that. And you have the same construct, Asham. Now, we've already looked at Leviticus 5 and 7, but here it is right here. We'im lo tagi yado des webi et asamo aser hata sete turim o sani bani yana yahadad hata wahed lole, right? We see a vav at the end of the verb his trespass. But you all see temple language involved in the verse, right? You see lo hatat from the 2403 hata'ot, which is a sin offering, and le'olah, burnt offering. None of these exist in Isaiah 53 and 10 or in Isaiah 53 at all. You don't see none of that stuff.
Can I ask a question now?
Go ahead.
All right, so in Isaiah 53, verse 10, it says, yet he pleased Yah to bruise him. He had put him to grief when thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin. Now, in that language, that is, would you agree that is?
No, I do not agree. I do not agree. That is figuratively.
Hold on. I'm at the question I'm asking. Do you agree that that's sacrificial language or offering for sin? That's what I'm saying.
No, that is not sacrificial language. That is poetic language, and it's poetic. Sometimes Hebrew uses it. Let me finish. Sometimes Hebrew uses idioms and different things. Isaiah 53 is full of them. Okay. And first and foremost, just to prove that, when you look at that word daro, right, it comes from the word daka, it means generation, and it means a particular generation. Not any and every generation, not the future generation. It only means the present and the past generation. Okay.
So I just want to get you on record because we are live. You said this right here when it says an offering for sin. Offering for sin, you said that that's not sacrificial language, or you saying that brother, just for this verse?
You know what? Let me finish this thing. I'm going to get into all of that, bro.
But I thought you agreed that I can ask a question, though, bro. If I can't stop you and ask questions because I'm confused. You're saying that it's not sacrificial language, and then I'll let you go. I just need an answer. I just need an answer. That
I just told you the answer. You just repeated my answer. You just said that I'm saying that it's not.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
I mean,
no, I'm just saying because
it's in my presentation, brother.
All right. But see, then I'm gonna stop asking questions then and just wait till you're done because it's frustrating you for me.
You can ask your questions, man. But if I tell you that it's in the presentation, how about you wait and see if it's in the presentation?
Okay.
If it's not in the presentation, then bring it back up.
All right, but you gave me an answer. Got you. Go ahead. All right.
Now again, like I said, what was I? Le'olah, burnt offering. None of these exist in Isaiah 53 and 10 or Isaiah 53 at all. None of them. Now let's look at sacrificial language in Isaiah 5 and 18, right? You got Asham who assume Asham Yahweh, right? Here we see temple language being used. Where? It's in the prior verse. And he shall bring a ram without blemish out of the flock without estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest, and the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his ignorance, wherein he erred and wist it not, and it shall be forgiven him. Now, Leviticus 7 and 5. Wehikter otam ha-kohen. Got that word right there, priest. Ha-kohen hamuzbeh. It said yudewahe asam hu. Well, again, we see temple language again because we have the priest and we have what else we have here? Hamuzbeh. Here we see temple language being used in the verse itself, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar for an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a trespass offering.
Can I ask a question? Again, this is if this is in your presentation, I'll wait. The word sin offering in Hebrew is, how do you say it? Katat or katat? How do you say that in Hebrew? Sin offering. How do you say that? I know how to spell it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. How do you say that in Hebrew? Sin offering.
Something like that. Katat.
Chatat, correct?
Katat.
Yeah, zakat, right. So a reason why I'm asking you how you say that, because that's how you say it in Hebrew. And for what I learned in Hebrew, that is a sacrificial language of a sin offering. That's what I want to think. So if you're going to show that, that was why I asked you the question, and you said it's in your presentation. So that's why I disagree. It is a sin offering, and it is a sacrificial. But go ahead.
Are you any other questions so I can continue?
That's it, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Now, Leviticus 4 and 3. Again. Im ha-kohin hanisa yita la asmat ha'am wahikrib al hato asa hata pa bin bakir tamim Yahweh la hatat. See temple language again. But we see the conjugate of the word chata, which again, see, that's why I say just wait sometimes. Highlighted in 2403, right? Highlighted, H2403. Punishment of sin, purifying, an offense, sometimes habitual sinfulness. And it's a penalty, occasion, sacrifice, or expiation. Do you know what expiation is? It's the act of making amends or atonement for a wrongdoing, sin, or crime, to extinguish guilt and to satisfy an offended party. Because see, there's more words that mean guilt or sacrificial guilt than what people try to say in Psalm. There's a couple of words actually. Leviticus 4 and 26. Ma'et kal helbo yaktir hamizbeh keheleb zebeh hasalim bekiper Allah hakohin mehatato when nislalo. Here we see temple language again. Mehatato is a noun feminine construct, second masculine singular, with the prepositional mem concerning his skin. You see the temple language here with the word zebah of the sacrifice and wekapir. So shall make atonement. Ha-kohen, the priest, and yaktir, he shall burn. None of those exist in Isaiah 53. None of those exist. There are, like I said, Leviticus 5 and 11. Now let's go to Isaiah 53 and 10. You see, Yahweh hapez dakal, hele im tasim masam, napso yere zara, yarik yamim, but hapez Yahweh, beyado yizla. Now you see there's no priestly language in the verse or in the verses prior to it, right? This is legalistic language. Plus you have the word dakal, which comes from daka, which means to crush figuratively. Brown driver Briggs, right? Isaiah 5 and 10, crush figuratively to one's death. Now, the covenant lawsuit pattern, right? You have Riv, a major prophetic structure as the covenant lawsuit. God appears, or the Most High appears as the judge or injured party. You have the covenant Lord, and then you have the covenant Lord, right? Not the injured party, covenant Lord. Examples: Isaiah 1, Micah 6, Hosea 4. Key legal vocabulary that appears in those chapters: guilt, witness, indictment, judgment, compensation. Courtroom language. Same thing that's in Isaiah 53. Now, covenant lawsuit pattern, Riv. Prophets frequently detach sacrificial terms from the altar and apply them to people and nations. An example, Hosea 6:6, moral sacrifice. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. No temple scene, no sacrificial language becomes ethical language, right? Still, it is not a sacrifice. Still not the sacrificial language. Now, some people say, well, Isaiah 60:20, Israel itself is called an offering. Still not sacrificial language. People become symbolic sacrifices without priests and altars. Hence Jeremiah, hence Isaiah 53. It's not a literal sacrifice. It ain't none of that type of stuff. It's figuratively. The Most High was going to crush this person, and this person was going to bear all the injustice from an injustice courtroom system at the time for Israel. And you'll see this when I go into Jeremiah, when I prove Jeremiah from the suffering songs. Now we have legal liability versus sacrificial payment. In ancient Israel, did not separate crime, guilt, restitution, sacrifice, or a single offense could involve all four. So one word, Asham, naturally carries both meanings, which I was trying to explain. It does carry both meanings. That's why you have to look and see if it has sacrificial temple language, or if it does not have that, then it's legal construct. That is not theology. That is fact that I am proving through the grammar. Now you have the legal sphere, corrupted sphere. You have liability. In the legal sphere, you have liability, damages owed to courtroom. The corrupted sphere, you had the guilt offering, repair to sacrifice, sanctuary. That is the word Asham. That is the two uses of the word. That's why you have to look and see. Is it an altar? Is it Dom? Is it Kohen mentioned? Is any of those things mentioned? Okay, then it's legal then. If those things are mentioned, then it's a sacrificial. Temple language. So what happened in Isaiah 53? Notice the dominant vocabulary, legal, judicial terms, right? Look at all the legal terms. Struck, liability, impunity, bear responsibility, transgression, righteous, justified. This reads like it's a courtroom procession. This reads, like I said, this reads like a trial verdict, not a temple manual. No priest, no altar, no ritual procedure. Now, under covenant law, when guilt exists, liability must be carried. In legal Hebrew, Asham can mean the state of bearing compensatory responsibility. Thus, one coherent reading is his life assumes liability. That aligns with Genesis style legal usage. Same thing, Genesis 26:10, when Abimelech said, "Why have you brought this liability upon me? Why have you almost made me create this? Why have you brought this Asham upon me? This guilt."
I got a question. The topic that you on, Asham and the guilt, right? Do you agree that the Septuagint is legit, or you don't?
Why would I use the Septuagint when I can go to the original?
I'm asking for a reason. If you don't,
no, I don't mess with the Septuagint.
Okay.
I just mess with the
all right. And the reason why I ask is because the Septuagint is Greek, but do you know it was translated from ancient Hebrew manuscripts?
I understand all of that. I just deal
okay.
With the ancient.
So I'm asking. The reason why I'm asking is just a question, bro. You got to get comfortable. I'm letting you talk. I just want to step in and ask questions. You answer the question on that. The reason why I asked the question is because that same manuscript in Hebrew that was translated from Greek, with Isaiah 53:10, it shows that it's Asham as well. So I'm just trying to show witnesses from different angles that same translation, even into the Greek, even coming from the Hebrew, is Asham. I just want to point that out. And maybe you haven't studied manuscripts. That's where I come in at. I got a plethora of ancient Hebrew manuscripts, a bunch of them. And if I was doing a debate with this, I will. In the future, we'll come back and do this because I think you're missing some points on some things that you might not see. So go ahead.
All right, so the prophetic technique, the literary structure is called a metaphorical cultic transfer or a juridical cultic conflation, meaning legal judgment language is expressed using sacrificial vocabulary without describing an actual sacrifice. The prophets do this often. Isaiah intentionally chooses a word that sits between two worlds, courtroom guilt and ritual compensation. Now, Isaiah 40 through 55 models a royal courtroom verdict followed by vindication. Isaiah 53 only makes full sense when you read inside the literary architecture of Isaiah. Isaiah 40 through 55, the divine trial of drama, or the cosmic courtroom narrative, and it opens up with Isaiah 40 through 55, opens with a royal courtroom scene. The section beginning in Isaiah 40 is not random prophecy. It is structured like an ancient Near Eastern royal lawsuit. Step 1, court is convened. Isaiah 41, chapters 41 through 48, repeatedly uses courtroom summons language. Present your case, bring ye your witnesses. Let them declare the nations, the idols, Israel, straight courtroom language. Why? Because the Most High is leveling a charge against Israel and the nations. This mirrors a king sitting in judgment. Isaiah 40 through 55 continue. Number 2, the parties in the trial. Number 1, Yahweh, the judge and plaintiff. He's the one that's claiming covenant breach. 2, the nations and idols, defendants. They must prove legitimacy. They fail to predict history, so that's a legal defeat. 3, Israel, the servant / witnesses. Israel is repeatedly called servant, witness. Example, Isaiah 43 and 10, right?
We got a question. We got a question.
Go ahead.
Is courtroom language mentioned anywhere in the text? Courtroom language. People said you keep saying courtroom language.
So if you're looking for the word courtroom language,
is it? I know what it is.
The words. If the people are looking for the exact words, courtroom language, no. This is where the Most High says, "Study to show yourself approved."
So this is just scholarship saying.
This is just scholarship through the grammar.
All right, we just wanted to point that out to the audience. That's all. They want to make sure I already know it's not in there. I just wanted to let them hear that, so we know that that's just something that the scholars made up. Courtroom language.
So
right, go ahead.
What's being proved is being proved through the grammar. It is courtroom language. You see it right then and there. Like I just gave you a list of vocabulary words that denote courtroom in English and in Hebrew. So how can you not say that it's not courtroom language when you have all the courtroom vocabulary? That's like saying a pig dressed up with lipstick ain't a pig just because it got lipstick on it.
Okay, so I'll explain. You asking me that question, or you just?
No, I'm asking you the question.
All right. So the reason why I disagree with you saying it's courtroom language, one, of course, it's not in there. But these Hebrew words that you're talking about are not courtroom language. The Hebrew words you're talking about that's on the manuscript, that's our original tongue. Our original tongue is not courtroom language or courtroom words. They're Hebrew words. Now the English, the English you're using are courtroom words.
So let me ask you: when King Solomon judged the two women, the prostitutes, right? Did he use Hebrew words?
Of course not. But I'm saying King
Solomon didn't use Hebrew words when he judged the two women in the courtroom setting.
I can't.
The lady who killed the other lady's baby, when you know what I'm saying, and replaced the dead baby, gave her the dead baby. They sat before the judge, right?
I'm saying that the language is written in English, though, bro.
But listen, I'm trying to show you that your point is irrelevant. What you're saying. Okay, so what I'm saying is that
but the English
is Hebrew language. They still spoke the Hebrew language in the courtroom. That would still be courtroom language, right? Just because the word courtroom language is not written in
English. The English words are the courtroom language, not the Hebrew words.
The Hebrew words, brother. The Hebrew words are the courtroom language. That's where you think the English is getting it from.
Right, well,
that's why I gave you the example of King Solomon judging.
Disagree with that. Okay,
so,
but go ahead.
So when King Solomon judged the two women, brother, was he?
No, let's keep on with the presentation. I don't want to.
You keep stopping me, brother, going into everything else.
No, I'm asking questions. That's why.
And I'm answering your question. Now you don't want me to answer the question because I'm trying to break it down.
No, all right, well, go ahead.
So again, when King Solomon, when he did anything, any Israelite king did anything in the Israelite courtroom, they used Hebrew words. They use regular words, just like what is in my presentation right here. That he says that he disagrees are judicial terms. So how would King Solomon have told that woman, hey, you struck him in the neck while he's doing a court proceeding? That's why it's irrelevant what you're saying. Legal terms. Now back to my presentation. 2, parties to the trial. Yahweh, judge and plaintiff. Two, nations and idols, defendants. They must prove legitimacy. 3, Israel, the servant, witnesses. So, like I said, before Isaiah 53 even appears, the servant already has a legal identity. There's no priest, there's no sacrifice, there's no witness, witness in a covenant lawsuit. Now, number 3, the accusation phase, Isaiah 42 through 48. Israel is declared blind, deaf, guilty, in exile. Legal vocabulary dominates, right? Transgression, iniquity, judgment, redemption. Israel fails as a servant witness. Now, for you to sit there and say that these words, just because they're in English, don't mean legality. If I was in standing in front of King Solomon, King David right now, I would use these exact same words in Hebrew to denote my innocence. So what you're saying don't make no sense. Now, number 4, introduction of the individual servant. Beginning in Isaiah 49, something changes. A new servant appears, faithful, obedient, suffers unjustly, restores Israel itself. The narrative shifts, is legal. The failed corporate servant is replaced by a righteous representative. This is the classic ancient representation law. One figure embodies the people. Trial turns against the servant, right? Isaiah 50 to 53, the courtroom reverses. The servant is accused, he's struck, he's condemned, he's treated as guilty. The language resembles a miscarriage of justice, right? Courtroom signals, who will contend with me? Let us stand together. Who is my accuser? Now we get to Isaiah 53, the verdict phase. Now the structure becomes clear. Isaiah 53 is not describing a ritual or anything like that. It reads like a witness speaking after the trial. We thought he was stricken. This is retrospective courtroom testimony. The speakers admit they misjudged the case. The verdict against him was wrong. Now, the legal logic of the chapter: servant condemned, community assumes guilt as his, court reveals guilt belonging to others, servant bore liability, Asham, divine reverse issue. This is judicial vindication. You get the vindication scene, 52 to 53. Royal language appears, exalted, lifted up, portion among the great, justified many. These are enthronement acquittal formulas, not temple ritual terms. The king overturned the earlier human verdict. The ancient royal trial pattern. The narrative follows a recognizable Near Eastern pattern. 1, court is convened. 2, charges issued. 3, the witness is examined. 4, innocent suffers judgment. 5, the king reveals truth. 6, innocent is vindicated. And then 7, reward, exaltation is granted. Isaiah 40 through 55 fits this pattern perfectly, and Jeremiah fits that. Why Asham works here within this courtroom drama? Asham functions naturally as legal liability assumed by a servant. He becomes the one through whom the case is resolved. No altar required, no priest required, right? None of that. Now, the servant songs is one legal narrative. You got the servant songs, and then we're going to get into that next, because this is where I'm going to prove that Jeremiah fulfills all of these from the grammar. Now, Isaiah 53 is the judgment reversal at the climax of a long legal drama. The prophet is answering, how can guilty Israel be restored if the covenant court has already condemned them? The answer is within the narrative. A righteous servant carries a covenant liability and is then vindicated by the Most High's royal decree. That was Jeremiah, our suffering servant. Now, Isaiah 40 through 55 actually works as a legal royal courtroom drama. Now that you see the structure, Isaiah 53 stops looking like a temple sacrifice language and reads more like a judicial verdict followed by vindication. Now we fix to get into the suffering servant series, right? All the ones in Isaiah, the suffering servant song.
Question. Is this the last presentation?
This the last one.
Okay. All right.
So now we get into the suffering servant songs. All right. So first song, Isaiah 42, 1 through 4. Second song, Isaiah 49, 1 through 6. Third song, Isaiah 50, 4 through 9. Fourth song, Isaiah 13, through Isaiah 53 and 12, and then we're going to get into the conclusion. Now, what does he say? Son of man, I have made you a watchman to the house of Israel. Wherever you hear the word from my mouth, you shall give them a warning for me. This is exactly what this is. The aim of this video is to show how Jeremiah fulfills certain aspects of Isaiah's suffering servant. The new and final video will be on idioms, which I have a 6-part series, and the last one is on none but idioms in Isaiah 53. All right. So my opening argument for this lecture is going to be: we have here today to resolve a long-standing dispute over one of the most parsed, debated, and misunderstood texts in the ancient world, Isaiah 53. For centuries, traditional theology has conditioned us to read this chapter as an altar space, a piece of mystical cultic literature detailing a pagan-style human sacrifice. We have been told to see priests, blood manipulation, and an altar. But today, we're going to look past the theological traditions, and we're going to look directly at the stone-cold grammar of the text. And we're going to examine the syntax, the verbal aspects, and the vocabulary. The altar completely vanishes. Now, in our defense, was going to rest upon 3 irrefutable pillars of Hebrew grammar and history. The nominal priority. We will demonstrate that Isaiah 53 describes the servant primarily through nominal clauses. And you do know what a nominal clause is, brother, right? That's a question to you.
No, I don't.
Okay, then.
Explain what it is.
We will go through not action verbs. This chapter acts as a formal legal brief establishing judicial states of being: innocent, despised, rejected, and legally assigned. The forensic reality of Asham. We will dismantle the claim that the word Asham in verse 10 demands an animal sacrifice. By analyzing the active verb tasim, we will prove that this is legal language of imputed liability and debt, completely detached from temple architecture. In Torah law, human substitution on an altar is an abomination, idolatry. But a political miscarriage of justice is a historical reality. The past tense fingerprints of Jeremiah, we're going to also cover that. Finally, we're going to address the timing. Through verbs like nigzar, a nephal perfect past tense verb, the text reveals it is executing a retrospective poetic evaluation of an event that has already taken place, which is called prophetic perfect. Written from the ash heaps of exilic Babylon, this sacred poetry maps perfectly, clause for clause and word for word, onto the historical career of the ultimate suffering scapegoated prophet of Israel, Jeremiah. And we're fixing to get into this. Now, Isaiah 42, 1-4, we have right here, Hin avdi ekmobo, bekiri ratazah nafsi. Behold, my servant whom I uphold, my chosen, in whom my soul delights. He will bring forth justice to the nations. He will not cry out or lift up his voice. A bruised reed he will not break. Jeremiah parallels this. Jeremiah 20, 7-9. Jeremiah speaks of God's calling and his intense struggle, but he remains faithful without loud protest. You have deceived me, O Lord, but if I say I will not, if I say I will not mention him or speak anymore in his name, his word is in my heart like a burning fire. Jeremiah 11-19. Jeremiah describes himself like a gentle lamb led to the slaughter, showing meekness and submission rather than loud resistance. Jeremiah 42, 1-6. Jeremiah advises the remnant quietly and humbly after the fall of Jerusalem, reflecting a servant's role in guiding and leading. All right. Now we have here Hin avdi ekmo bo bikri ratsha natshi. Right here, my servant whom I uphold, my chosen in whom my soul delights. Right. So you have the word avdi, noun first singular, first person singular, first person construct singular suffix, my servant. Right. Then you have bo, third masculine singular pronoun. Bo. Then you have in him, right? Ratazah, call, perfect third feminine singular, has delighted, completed. The verbs are perfect past completed, not future. The servant already exists and was already chosen. Why? Because the Most High told Jeremiah, before I knew you, I formed you in the womb. Jeremiah lived 100 years after Isaiah. So during that time that Isaiah was prophesying, what did the Most High tell Jeremiah when he was born? Before I knew you, I already formed you in the womb. You already had the job I was going to do for you. I already knew. I already ordained you a prophet to the nations. Now, we're going to compare Jeremiah 1 and 5. Beterim exahak yadatika navi legoyim natitaka, right? Before I formed you, I knew you. But I just said, I appointed you a prophet to the nations. You got the verb stem, right? Yeditaka, right? Perfect. I knew you. Perfect. I appointed you. Same grammar. A prophet already chosen before birth. Isaiah's servant and Jeremiah are grammatically in the same category. Pre-appointed prophets. Pre-appointed prophets. Lo Yitzhak velo Yisa velo Yishimiah Bekluts kulo. He does not cry out. He does not lift up. He does not make his voice heard in the street. These are imperfects with negative, low, negative participles, low, describing habitual behavior. Now let's look at Jeremiah. But what is the syntax showing us? The syntax is showing us deliberately subverts the exact critique by acting as a profound theological commentary on the exhaustion and evolution of the prophetic office under state hostility. Consider the raw contrast with Jeremiah's lived experience. In Jeremiah 11:11 and in 14:12, the supreme tragedy of the siege is that when the people finally panic and lift up a desperate cry, the Most High declares, I will not listen to their cry. Furthermore, throughout his life, Jeremiah was explicitly commanded by Elohim to do the exact opposite of his quiet motto. Go and cry out in the ears of Jerusalem and proclaim these words in the streets of Jerusalem, Jeremiah 11:6. Now, let's look at the grammar of this said verse, Jeremiah, right here. Lakahin ko amar Yahweh. Therefore says the Lord, the definitive prophet legal formula indicating that a final divine verdict has been reached based on prior breach of covenant. Hani mavi elachim ra'ah. Behold, I am bringing upon them evil, disaster. This is a demonstrative participle with the first person's construct singular suffix, creating immediate imminence plus Hifil participle masculine singular from the construct root being to cause to enter. Al-shirlo yokolu lezet memina, which they shall not be able to escape, a relative pronoun. We have negative participle plus a call imperfect third masculine plural right here, where it's showing you, right? Ukulu, right? Kulu, ukulu, or kulu. To prevent, endure. Call infinitive construct from, can't even see the what's the name? Yazar, to go out, exit. Prepositional suffix from it. Then you have Viza'aku, ule, velo, eshima, elachim. And they will cry out to me, but I will not hear them. Vav, consecutive call, perfect, masculine plural, right? The guttural shriek of a victim under intense pressure. Negative participle plus the call, imperfect, marking a deliberate judicial closing of the divine ear. We have the phrase lo yakulu, right? Latzet, memina, which also means the judgment is mathematically inescapable. More critically, the text weaponizes the verb za'ak, the ultimate legal cry of distress that historically triggered the exodus in Egypt, and declares it useless. The covenant mechanics are broken. Elohim has explicitly rescinded his obligation to listen to the panic of his people, right? So then we have here, what did I tell you? The negative participle lo, imperfect, describing restrained speech. Jeremiah is the prophet who tries not to speak publicly. Lo, ex, renu velo, adeber al bishmo. I will not mention him or speak anymore in his name. Fulfilling that. Now, let's go and look at 42:2. Look at the severe, desperate grammar of this internal instance. Lo ex carino. I will not mention him, think of him. You have the negative participle, lo, right here, lo, negative. Negative participle plus a call imperfect first construct singular from the root zakar, to remember, mention, plus the third masculine singular pronominal suffix referring to Elohim. Lo as a karenu is referring, I will not mention him. So it's showing you that the Most High is referring to Elohim. I will not mention him. Jeremiah is fulfilling that part of Isaiah 53. Velo adaber ad bishmo, nor will I speak anymore in his name. Here you see the conjunction plus the negative participle plus PL imperfect first construct singular from the root zakar, dabar, to speak. Adverb yet again anymore. You have the preposition plus the noun masculine singular third masculine suffix, which says in his name. Velo adabar ad bishmo. Jeremiah tries to shut his mouth. He tries to withhold the word. He makes a conscious legal vow to permanently withdraw his voice from the public square, matching the exact spatial restriction we saw in the first servant song. But the text immediately follows the breakdown with the ultimate reality of the call. But his word was in my heart like a burning fire, shut up in my bones. I was weary of holding it back, and I could not endure it. Now, let's look at Jeremiah 1 and 10. La Hashev Yaakov Elav, Ve'Yisrael lo Ya'esev, to restore Jacob to him and gather Israel to him. These are infinitive constructs showing mission, purpose. Now, Jeremiah 1 and 10. Lintos ve'lintos, levnot ve'letor, tua, to uproot, to tear down, to build, and to plant. Same infinitive structure, prophetic mission formula that Jeremiah was told he was going to have. Now, Isaiah 49. Let's look at Isaiah 49 and 5. The servant cosmic mandate is delivered via infinitives. La hashev, to restore. When we turn to Jeremiah 1 and 10, we find the exact same grammatical formula initializing his career. Lintos, to uproot. Valintos, to tear down. Livnot, to build. And valintua, to plant. Same thing as Isaiah 49 and 5 in Jeremiah. Same exact grammar, same formula, same everything. This is the standard prophetic mission formula of the Hebrew Bible. Isaiah is not inventing a pagan mythological savior, Christ, New Testament idol. He is using the established prophetic syntax to depict the restoration assignment given to the ultimate suffering prophet, Jeremiah. They share the same grammar because they share the same office. Isaiah 49 and 6. What do we have here? Natatika le orgoyim. Natatika le orgoyim. I have made you a light to the nations. Caused them perfect. I have appointed you. Right? Natatika. Right? Natatika. I have appointed you. Not that I made you, but I physically myself have appointed you to the nations. This is your job. This is what you're going to do. Now, Jeremiah 1 and 5. Navi lagoyim natatika. Nevi lagoyim natatika. I have appointed you a prophet to the nations. This is direct grammatical parallel. What did Isaiah say? Natatika le orgoyim. Natatika le orgoyim. What does Jeremiah say? Navi lagoyim natatika. So here, Isaiah said, I'm going to appoint this person a prophet to the nations. What does Jeremiah say? Navi lagoyim natatika. You appointed me a prophet to the nations, oh Yahweh. Same verb, same object, same nations.
I got a question, because I thought you were winding down to just showing.
I'm done, bro. I quit. Y'all got it.
Yeah, no, but I wrote, because you said you was going to deal with going to Isaiah 53, and this is the main thing. I get it, because you did say your presentation was long, but can we just go to Isaiah 53 that you said you was going to show, and show that each verse lines up with Jeremiah, that applies to Jeremiah? You said you would do that. Can we get to that part, and that way we can, because people are confused, and I see where you're going. I see you speaking, and you're doing a great presentation. But the media of the things is
that's the problem right there. See that you can't, when it comes to this, you can't skip nothing. That's why where the confusion comes in.
All right, so you still going to be.
So no, I'll just end it right here.
No, are you still going to be able to get to? Hold on, but okay, but let me ask you this: will you still be able to go to line by line and show? I didn't know you was going to.
I'm actually doing some of it right now. You know what I'm saying? Some of it right now.
Honestly, I don't see that. How you doing? You're not in Isaiah 53 showing, comparing that to Jeremiah.
I'm actually leading it up to that. The whole Isaiah. Okay. You can't get without Isaiah 49 and all these suffering servant songs. There is no Isaiah 53, brother.
I get that.
If you get that, then why don't you just let me lead up to what I'm doing? Then you just want me.
Nah, it ain't that I just want you to. I understand what you're saying, but a lot of, like you said, a lot of people are not well studied in Torah, so you'll be over their heads with stuff like this. But go ahead. Brother, how much longer you got? How much longer?
I'm sorry if I'm over people's heads, brother.
Okay, relax, bro. Relax, bro. I ain't gonna just cut you short like that. Relax. All I'm asking now is how much longer you got before you get to that part leading up.
I see where this stuff at. Let me skip all
this. Just trying to give you some time, man. I get it. Because I got media questions. I got a lot of questions. You've been getting frustrated. That's why I've been trying to just let you go so I can get the questions out at the end. Because I see it's frustrating you as I ask questions. And that's why I tell them back, because people came in thinking this is contentious. But, this is how we teach, bro. We answer questions. We don't get frustrated. We don't get frustrated, though, with questions. You really got frustrated, bro. That's why I backed off. I ain't want to upset you because I did say I was going to let you teach.
Because I was trying to tell you what you were asking me was in the presentation. I had everything structured.
But still,
I come from an academia, brother. We do everything structured. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
so if I'm presenting a case and presenting a lecture.
This is not a debate, though. This is not a debate.
I get that.
It'd be more structured. So you got to understand that. So when you teach, I'm just giving you an example as an elder. When you teach it, and you're allowing the platform to engage with you and ask questions, you're going to have patience, bro. You're going to have to relax. And that's what I was trying to show you. I get it. It's ahead sometimes and all that, but your mentality is the structure of a debate right now. And that's why you're being frustrated, because you're not used to these type of questions. So with that being said,
not the problem. It's just the fact I'll cover a lot of the stuff inside of my presentation.
I get that, and that's good when it's a debate.
I've been trying to get to it. I just skipped a whole 30 minutes of the presentation just so I can go down here. I can deal with Isaiah 53 for y'all. Okay. So we finish right here. All right. Isaiah 53, man. Same negative participles, right? It says right here, like a lamb, he was led to the slaughter. Jeremiah fulfills that right there. Jeremiah 11 and 19. Kasher Letavak Yuval is the passive of him fulfilling that, being led to the slaughter. You got Isaiah 53 and 3. Nivzeh Yakadar Ishim, despised and rejected of men. Jeremiah 15 and 10. Kalum Mekalelim Oti, everyone curses me. And you also have Jeremiah 20 and 8. Kolu La'ag Vakekes, I am a laughing stock all day. You got a couple of other things too as well. Isaiah 53 and 8, Nigzar Ma'aretz Hayam, he was cut off from the land of the living, passive, not full, removed, imprisoned, isolated. Jeremiah fulfilled that, 38:6. Vayalisku et Yermimahu, in Ba Mayim Ki'im Tit. They threw Jeremiah into a cistern, no water, only mud. He is left to die, cut off from the life. Right? And proof of that right there, it says, look at these two realities locked together textually and conceptually. Nigzar Ma'aretz Chayam. He was cut off from the land of the living. The opposition always claims this language is too final to apply to an individual who physically survived the exile, insisting it must mean the corporate death of the nation. But it doesn't. You have Vayisliku et Yermimahu, and they cast Jeremiah into the cistern, where there was only mire. This is the literal historical mechanics of what being cut off looks like. Jeremiah wasn't just politically sidelined. He was lowered with ropes into a subterranean vault, sinking into suffocation mud, intentionally hidden away from the world of functioning human beings to starve in the dark. Cut him off from the land of the living. In ancient Near Eastern mind, a cistern with no water, only mire, is the functional equivalent of Sheol, the pit, the place of the dead, When Isaiah describes the servant as being taken from prison and from judgment, he is using the high poetic vocabulary for the exact state-sponsored extrajudicial liquidation that Jeremiah physically experienced in the courtyard of the guard. Jeremiah's descent into the mire is the concrete historical reality that undergirds Isaiah's theological masterpiece. The servant's journey into darkness isn't a mythological abstraction. It is an eyewitness account of what happens when the corrupt leadership of Judah decides to permanently sever the voice of the true witness from the land of the living. Isaiah 53:11, he will bear their iniquities, right? Jeremiah 14:7, our sins testify against us. Jeremiah stands between God and the Most High. And Jeremiah 15:1, even Moses and Samuel could not intercede. Jeremiah had been doing so. The servant is not a sacrifice. He is a suffering mediator prophet. Now, the syntax. And our iniquities testify against us. Conjunction plus noun, masculine plural, first singular plural, pronominal suffix. Qual perfect third construct plural from the root ana, to answer, testify, preposition, first singular plural suffix. In the book of Jeremiah, the nation's sins are not abstract moral failures. They are active forensic prosecutors. The phrase anu vanu functions as a courtroom verdict. The guilt is so deeply woven into the fabric of the community that the people's own history stands up in court to condemn them, leaving them legally paralyzed before the divine judge. Right? Va'avanu tam, who yisbor, resolution. And their iniquities he shall bear. You have conjunction plus noun, masculine plural, plus third masculine plural pronominal suffix, independent third masculine pronoun, he. Call imperfect third masculine singular from the root taval, to bear, to carry a heavy load. Isaiah uses the exact same plural noun for iniquities that Jeremiah identifies as the nation's internal prosecutor. The radical shift is found in the mechanics of the pronoun and the verb. In Jeremiah's lived reality, the guilt remains trapped inside the community, vanu, within us, dragged the entire populace down into siege, starvation, and exile. Isaiah 53 introduces the cosmic relief valve. The forensic weight that paralyzed Jeremiah's contemporaries is explicitly transferred onto an individual, who, he, the servant, right? That's what who means, the servant, who. The verb shifts from legal testimony to physical agonizing labor. The servant steps into the courtroom of Israel's history, intercepts the prosecution's evidence that Jeremiah so faithfully documented, and carries the heavy load out of the camp. Again, Isaiah 40-55 is written during the Babylonian period, before Jeremiah had been persecuted. Isaiah is interpreting Jeremiah's ministry prophetically. The grammar is past and present, which is a prophetic past. First person prophetic speech. Known persecution, known intercession, known imprisonment. That can only fit Jeremiah. It don't fit Christ. It don't fit nobody else. No, none of them. Now, the summary table. You got the servant songs. Isaiah 42:1-4, right? Gentile servant brings justice quietly. Isaiah 49:1-6. Call from womb, mouth like sword. Isaiah 54-9, endures abuse, silent, faithful speaker. Isaiah 52:13-53-12, suffering servant, bears sins, rejected intercessor. What corresponding Jeremiah passages? Jeremiah 20:7-9, 11-19, 42:1-6. Jeremiah 1:4-10, Jeremiah 15-19. But you want, I forget, you only worried about 53. So, okay. So 53, 52-53. Jeremiah 15-15. Jeremiah 20:7-8. Jeremiah 37:15-16. Jeremiah 38-6. You can look in the book of Lamentations. It's all out there. All of it. Jeremiah fulfills this from the grammar and from the grammatical syntax and from the text. Jeremiah fulfills this. So anybody saying anything different, they must go into the grammar, and they must go in the grammar and prove all these things that I showed in here in this presentation. All these things, they must go in there and prove all these things one by one and break the grammar down and show them and prove that it is not Jeremiah, and then prove that it is Christ, that Nixar Ma'aretz Chayam, all those things. They must go in and prove those things.
All praises.
Now go ahead. I'm done.
All right. So I just want to give you that advice. I mean, I know you got a channel, but it's obvious you don't teach to a live audience. You just do videos, correct? You don't like teach, like have a ministry and teach and asking questions, engaging back and forth.
No, because I don't minister. I don't try.
No, I respect that. I see why.
Yeah.
And if you do, because you're knowledgeable, brother, I will give you that. You show true scholarship, and I'm familiar with a lot of your argument. I would debate you in the future on this too, because it's a lot of stuff I've seen, but I don't want to go back and forth with that. But in the debate form, I would definitely debate you on this in the future. But what I want to ask you a few more questions, and because I don't want to, I know you're gonna probably start getting frustrated again. Because
I ain't gonna get it. I can go ahead and ask questions. I just got a little bit of time.
Remember, you taught us, and see, I had to hold back a lot of the questions because a lot of people was coming in and they think this was a contentious thing, and it all started because I think I frustrated you with Asham and threw you off your presentation and all that, and I understand. And then we overtalked each other a little bit, and I did say I was going to let you do that, but engage. And so a lot of people didn't understand what was going on in the chat, all that. But I want to go back to Isaiah.
I tell you what, we can set that debate up. We
will. We definitely will, because I want to get with you.
This is just a snippet. I can go.
I want to get with you on some Hebrew, because you do know more than me. But I seen some errors in your Hebrew, and I'm just learning. But I
told you I still listen. I don't profess.
Hey, but you said you intermediate. I'm a babe, man. I ain't nowhere near 2 years in this. I'm months into this, man. But I'm shocked about what you did. But I ain't gonna pull that rabbit out, because that's a whole nother argument.
I mean, you can pull the rabbit out.
I want to deal with Isaiah 53 to let my audience know, because a lot of them missed the Asham question. So now I want you to. Let me go back to so I don't lose my thought. Isaiah 53:5, where it said he was wounded. Now, I know you said you could break down the grammar, and I know we say Isaiah is poetic, perfect, and all that. But Isaiah 53:5, do you agree that Hebrew word is literally, there's no way it could be a prophetic or idiom or any of that from the definition of that word? Because it's a similar word I'm going to go to after that. So that's my question. In Isaiah 53:5, the word wounded, what does that mean? Because that's talking about Isaiah. And then my second question to that is, show me the precept where that happened to Jeremiah.
It's an idiom.
It's an idiom.
Yes,
so explain to the audience. I already know. Explain to the audience what an idiom is.
An idiom is a metaphor.
So, for example, an idiom would be, it's raining cats and dogs. Do you agree?
Right.
Idiom would be
exactly.
All right. So when we look up idioms, it can explain in definition in a sense. And not that example, but to know what an idiom is. Would you agree? Looking up the Hebrew, then looking up the definitions, correct?
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Okay. So when we look up the word wounded in Hebrew, right? Mm-hmm. It gives us a definition, right? How do you prove based off that definition it's an idiom?
How do I say it again? How do I prove off
in Isaiah 53? I'm slow down. In Isaiah 53, verse 5, the scripture says he was wounded for his transgressions, right? You want me to read the whole verse so you can understand the context, or you understand what I'm saying?
Now go ahead.
Isaiah 53:5 said he was wounded, right? And it gives a definition of that word wounded in Hebrew. How do you determine that it's an idiom based off the Hebrew syntax and grammar? Because there's angles in me learning Hebrew. You can tell what are idioms and what are not based off the Hebrew grammar, syntax, and the definition. And do you agree? I know you want more Hebrew than that. Do you agree? That's how you determine an idiom?
Yeah, sometimes you can.
Okay, so how do we determine Isaiah 53:5, that word wounded is an idiom and not literally. How do we determine that?
Let me see. I had to go back and look at that one, bro.
All right, let me give you another example then. Let me give you another. I tell you, my brother, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, but I've been in this truth almost 30 years. I don't still know everything. I'm a student, but I'm well studied in this. To be a babe in Hebrew, I eat the Torah, man. I eat it. And then my next question is, in Zechariah, it says the same word, but it's not the same. It's the same meaning somewhat, but it's not the same word. It said he was, Zechariah 12:10 said he was pierced. Who is that talking about in Zechariah 12:10? And it said he was pierced for our transgressions, which is a precept to Isaiah 53:10. So my question to you is that an idiom as well? That word pierce in Hebrew?
Hold on. I'm looking at it right now. Zechariah 12:10, you said, right?
Correct. The word pierce. Said he was pierced for our transgressions. You want me to pull it up, or you good?
So you saying that the word dakaru is the same word that's used in Isaiah 53?
No, I'm not saying that. No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the definition are very close to being the same. The words are different. The Hebrew words, the Hebrew words are different.
Okay, so if the Hebrew words are different, then it doesn't that kills the whole argument right there.
Not really.
It does. Yeah. So what word? So the word in Zechariah 12:10 is dakaru, right?
Right.
Dakaru comes from 1856.
Okay,
right?
And what does it mean? What does it mean?
It means to strike, to thrust, to pierce. It also can form as figurative and analogy too as well. You know that, right?
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So
but hold on. So you answered that. You said to pierce, to stab, right? Right. Now, when you look up wounded, it's to crush, to wound, to stab.
Brother, but when you look it up, it says figuratively, right? Did I not show you? Let me get back to this.
Yeah, it does say figuratively, but when you're looking at,
they missed it on the screen. They missed it on the screen. I showed you that. See, this is the thing that I be having. When I say something, you'll go back to say the Brown driver, Briggs, and this and that. But I showed clearly right here the exact same thing. But y'all don't want to accept that.
I mean, crush ain't no bad word. I agree. It could mean that too.
Is that why I showed it for a crush? Or I showed that it mean figuratively?
No, I didn't. You moved too fast. I just seen crush. I didn't see figurative, but I do know it is figurative. It could be. It can mean. Again, but also it can mean. Hold on.
Right there, figuratively, right? Figuratively, right?
But that
what verse is that? No, can you read that verse for me, please?
Yes, it's verse 53:10. Yes.
Okay, then. So again, what verse did you say again? You said Zechariah, right? So is that when you go look up Zechariah 12:10, which is right here, Zechariah 12:10, what is it? Dakaru, right here. This word, they pierced.
I don't see it. Hold on. I don't see Zechariah 12:10. Where's that at?
Oh, hold on. Let me. Oh, I gotta share my. Hold on. It's on.
Yeah, share your screen. Take your time. Now, and I want to address something. Just because it says figuratively doesn't mean you grab that.
You're making up our own stuff now.
No. I'm saying you got to read the context.
But when I say that, you want to say, "My brother, Asham doesn't mean just because you said Asham doesn't mean this and that." But now you doing this. Come on now.
No, I'm talking about the definition. When you read in context, you will know it's not.
That's what I said about the word Asham and it being legalistic versus sacrificial. But you dismissed that. But now you want to talk about context.
No, what I'm telling you is, see, this is where you missing the whole point. What I'm telling you is that when we look up these words, right, there are various definitions.
I got my screen. I got it pulled up now.
Based off of context. So that's why the word Asham, based off context, is not dealing with Genesis. Is not dealing with figurative. It's literally guilt.
I didn't say Genesis. I didn't say right. It's not sacrificial.
It's not nothing to do with an offering. That's why I asked you about the word kata.
So you agree Genesis 26:10 has nothing to do with sacrificial, right?
Yeah, but it's not the same word.
So the same context, the word is using the same grammar, same grammar structure, same grammar context. But when it comes to Isaiah 53, all of a sudden it's sacrificial.
No, I'm saying because of the word. The word sin offering, bro, I asked you about that. Kata, I might be pronouncing it wrong. Chata is definitely a sacrificial language. It means sin offering, bro.
But that word is not there, and it's not there. It's Asham.
The word sin offering is there.
In English, it ain't there in Hebrew. You just said sin offering, it means kata, right? You don't find kata in Isaiah 53.
No. I was saying what sin offering means. That's all I said. That's all I said. But then when you said the word Asham was not there, you said that in Isaiah 53:10.
We looked up Isaiah 53:10. You did not see the word Asham. You saw a derivative of the word Asham.
I seen the word on the manuscript say the same thing. It says Asham in Hebrew.
You seen a yo there.
That word says Asham in Hebrew. Now you telling me it don't?
Yes or no? Was there a yo in front of that word?
I don't remember.
Now you don't remember.
This is what I do remember. This is what I stand on. Hold on, this is what I stand on though. I'm telling you that the word says Asham. You telling me it don't say that in Hebrew?
Well, let's look it up and just see.
I just need your answer for that. Do we ain't even got to look it up?
I'm finna show the people right here. Let's go look it up and see right now.
Okay, all right.
Let's go look it up and see right now.
You saying we being taught the wrong Hebrew? You saying the word?
No, you brother, you've been saying but I speak was Yiddish for the longest. Until recently.
Come on, man. Yiddish. we
know
everybody know I'm wrong about that.
Yiddish for the longest, bro. Come
on. Everybody know I've been wrong about that.
Okay, then. So what else you been wrong about?
That don't a lot
Maybe
of things.
You should humble yourself, brother.
I did humble myself. You ain't seen my video.
What word is this right here? Show me a psalm right here, brother. Hold on. Isaiah 53. What was it? Isaiah 53:10.
Pull up the manuscript, not no chart, bro. Pull up the manuscript.
Now there ain't no chart, brother. You get it right here.
Pull up the manuscript, please. Just pull up the manuscript.
You pull up the manuscript and show me the manuscript that has Asham in it, bro. You show me the manuscript that has Asham in it.
All right.
And it doesn't have, and it better not have another word. It better have olive. ASM. It better not have nothing else in front of it, with it, no conjugate, none of that.
You tell me. You read the Hebrew better than me. So when I pull it up, you read it.
Again, we back to the blue letter Bible.
This is the same manuscript, though.
No, it's not the same manuscript. The blue letter Bible got errors, brother. It's
full
of errors.
Hold on. Are you? This is why I know that you need.
This is how I know that you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. Hold on. You say that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna ask you one question. Did you show me what you just showed me on your manuscript? Was that the Leningrad Codex? Was that? What you just pulled?
It was the Leningrad Codex.
All right. You answered the question. You said it is. This is the Leningrad Codex too. So
right,
now show me that I'm wrong. This is why I told you. You talking about I'm being prideful, not showing.
I'm gonna show you because you know what? My teacher just asked us this question.
You said something that was wrong. You said something that was wrong. You need to humble yourself now. With all due respect, you accuse me of not doing something, and I'm giving you the same manuscript you pulled up. This is the Leningrad Codex. That's it. So, all right,
hold on just a second. I'm about to find something real quick, and I'm going to show you why. Just because it says Leningrad Codex, but because it's the blue letter Bible, the way that they translate things.
Translation errors, bro. That's what the errors are. I know. I did a teaching on that. The King James has the most translation errors there is.
Okay, bro. So when I show this error,
you're not dealing with a babe, but the manuscript says. So
when I show this error, I want you to go show another error just like it, since you're dealing with it. When I show this error, you go into the blue letter Bible.
I'm about to be done with this, man, because I don't want to turn this into contentious, bro. I really don't. This ain't good for my peoples. This ain't good for my peoples. You can show what you're gonna show. I'm gonna decline and move on. And I appreciate you coming on, bro. Just go ahead and show what you're gonna show. I'm gonna tap back. I got so many questions, but I'm gonna debate you. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's cool. Set it up.
I'm gonna debate you, bro. I'm gonna debate you. Definitely. Because right now, I'm being honest with you. You might know more Hebrew than me, but you're not that well studied in Hebrew manuscripts. I can see that. I can see it all in you, my brother. I'm trying to help you out. And when you get with me on this, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You didn't even know it was the same codex. I know about.
Are you serious? You asked me the question. I told you it's the same, bro. I kept telling you.
But you said it wasn't. You said it wasn't at first.
No, I didn't. I said that the grammar it has errors, brother. That's what I said. It
all
has full of errors.
All manuscripts. Listen, bro, let me explain something to you. all
Can you point out the
manuscripts.
errors in? Can you point out the errors in the blue letter, bro?
Do you know this? Yes or no? You can go back and look at my video. We pointed out 200 of them. Listen, let me tell you something, my brother, and I'm gonna give you some lightning on manuscripts. All manuscripts have errors. All of them, not one.
You keep talking about the manuscripts. Not talking about the manuscripts. I'm talking about the blue letter Bible.
That's what we're reading, but we're reading off the manuscript, Aki. We're reading off the manuscript. What you showed was a manuscript, right? And what I showed was the same manuscript. It's just one is a blue letter version.
Hey, no, let me show my screen. Pull my screen. Go to Jonah 1 and 3, please. Pull up Jonah 1 and 3. Let me show you an example of how the blue letter Bible be lying to y'all.
Man,
you don't want to go to Jonah? Okay, so we'll go to mine with Jonah 1 and 3.
All right. After this, man, we done.
Yeah, we'll be done after this right here. Just remember you said that too.
Yeah, people getting upset about this. Please forgive us, but this is not about edification now. This is about pride.
It's about pride because I'm trying to show you something. I'm trying to show you how the blue letter, but you keep referring to blue letter Bible, pulling that up, right? So I'm going to show you how the blue letter Bible has errors. We're going to go to Jonah.
I never said it don't. I showed over 200 errors.
You don't even know what type of errors I'm talking about. What type of errors am I talking about?
Okay, I don't know. You're right. Show us.
Exactly. Now, in Jonah 1 and 3, let's see here. Where is the Hebrew? Can we get it in here? I need. Why is this translated like this right here? Why do they put a patak underneath that?
Yes.
Why do they put a
yeah?
Why?
It's an error. It's an error. So let me ask you this.
I said why?
Listen, I can't tell you some. Let me tell you what I learned about translation errors. Some could be deliberately. Some could be ignorantly that they made by mistake. We covered this verse right here in our teaching, bro. If you watch our videos, we covered this. Some could be deliberately, some could be ignorantly, and some could be just, whatever the case may be. So I don't know the reason why.
When I keep saying that you keep talking about the blue letter Bible, bro, I ain't talking about the Leningrad Codex. I'm talking about the translations that you pulling up on the screen and putting on there. That's what I'm talking about.
And I agree, it's like when some people really have issues with that one. We not really. It's not really, to me. This is not contention, and it is edifying. I understand some people feel that way, and that's because of us being passionate and going back and forth. The brother has not been disrespectful, not one time, and this is the problem that we need to learn. Sometimes brothers gonna have disagreements. We gonna speak loud and this and that, but this brother. For real, honestly, I commend him because the way he was on Facebook between me and him, he was arrogant and puffed up, and he has not been that way since he's been on here. I do have to say that about you, my brother.
I keep my word, man. I tell you, I wasn't
gonna
do.
I do. So I understand the people in the chat, they're not used to this. Some of them, I know K. Judah, Yohanan, all of us that have been around, they definitely are used to this. But anyway. I'm gonna let it go because I think it's best that we do a debate, and then we can cover a lot more. So I'll give I'm busy, man. It'll be down the line, but I'm gonna set it up.
That's fine, brother. I'm busy, like I said.
I'm gonna get with you, I'm gonna get with you like we did before and plan it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got my email, man. You got my email.
Yeah, I got your email, and also Jedediah, the one that teaches us, who teaches me and my wife. He's going to be on Tuesday. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I got a question for Jedediah because Jedediah, he proved that Christ was born of the spirit and a woman. And I agree with him on that.
He said he did what now? He said what?
He proved that Christ was born of the spirit and a woman.
Of the spirit of born by a woman, you saying?
There was no man involved, in other words.
Oh, wow. He teach that? I didn't know that. I just deal with him on Hebrew.
Maybe it was the same. Maybe it was the same. I don't know. Maybe different.
Jedediah, I'm talking about. He believe in the New Testament too. But
he be with. Is this the same one that be with sometimes on Deacon Hakar channel? And he be with.
Yeah.
So they proved that, and they actually proved that, and I agree with them on that. They proved that the grammar, the Greek grammar from the Greek syntax, all that. They proved that. They did their thing on that. They did their thing on that. I agree with them on that.
All right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
the
I
the
disagree with
thing
that. I believe in the virgin birth. I disagree with that respectfully. I believe
no. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying they proved the virgin birth.
Oh, you're saying Jediah did.
Yeah. I'm saying
But you don't believe in the Messiah, though. You don't believe in the Messiah,
bro.
So how you believe in it?
I still believe what the text says. If people lie, even if I don't believe in something, people still lying about that. It's still a lie. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but
I'm about truth.
So you're saying you believe what the text say, though?
Yeah, I believe whatever the text says was what I roll with. I don't roll with doctrine. But at the same time, but that's why I can say that he proved when I went and looked at it in the Greek, he was correct. He proved it. It's a virgin birth.
I definitely agree with the virgin birth. It can be proven. That's right. Let me ask you this: how long you been Torah only? Since you've been in the truth?
Man, I came in the truth 14 years ago, and I've been Torah only 13 years.
Man, I gotta pray for you, man. You too sharp for that, man.
Nah, but I'm trying. Listen. My first teacher, I came in the truth with GOCC. I realized that them brothers was full of this and that because they couldn't answer my questions when I started going to the Hebrew.
Yeah.
And then what happened to me, bro, is I started getting with some real live language, Semitic language speakers from the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? So
I get that.
I started learning some from like my first teacher was from Pakistan. It was a Negro from Pakistan. My second teacher was he was a converted Arab or whatnot. Then I came stateside. I started learning the Hebrew language from Negroes. Like I said, Shael and Mitz. Them, they Mitz teaches Semitic languages in academia.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I'm a student. That's why I keep trying to say I'm still a student, bro. I'm still a babe, even though I talk and this and that, I'm a little bit more advanced than most others.
Right.
But I don't people say I'm intermediate, but I just say I'm a beginner because I could put my teacher on here, he gonna wipe the floor, he gonna put BTA. When I say something, Miss be even on my videos, Miss hit me up like, hey, how did you get this? How did you get so and so? And I'll be like, well, I don't know, bro. I'm wrong. Then he'd be like, no, you're right, but you need to explain to me how you got it.
Yeah. Well, man, it's good talking. I'm glad we got a chance to talk to each other. I still respectfully disagree. I do see the language. I do see how, we deal with the courtroom language. My thing is I only use scholars when it lines up with scripture. It's a whole lot more that I had, but we'd be here 3-4 hours. I think it's best that we get a time limit on our debates so we can bring out all this information and show it and then deal with that, like that. And because I want to deal with some Hebrew that I seen. I took some notes down. You said some stuff, so I'm going to bring that out in the debate because you use that in your presentation.
Yeah.
Hey, I know
everything that's in the presentation for a game, man.
I feel you.
Because this is the thing. This is my thing right here, bro. I try to tell even the other students that's in the class with me. I send them my lectures and ask for peer reviews all the time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I just like right now, I got a lecture that I just put together about the going into the book of Daniel. Right. And I just asked them like, hey man, y'all peer review this for me and tell me, you know what I'm saying? And just look at it and see. And that's what's going on because right now, like the lecture I got with the book of Daniel, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, some of this stuff ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Why is it 1,290 days? Then all of a sudden it's 1,335 days. You know what I'm saying? And it's are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yeah, familiar. Yeah.
Daniel 12. Then I'm looking at it like this. Then I'm looking at why is it old Persian words in here? Why is it Greek words in Daniel when Nebuchadnezzar's court was they didn't speak old Persian, they spoke Akkadian.
Yeah.
And then and then not only that, you got the Haflik in there.
But you got Aramaic, but see, here's the thing, is because I teach identity, language, and culture, which a lot of people don't understand. You even got Babylonian words in the Old Testament. Right. So you got Babylonian months, you got Aramaic words. We interchange as Israelites with certain languages, especially our Semitic languages like Aramaic and Ge'ez and various other languages. So you're going to see stuff like that written in the text. But sometimes you got to look at the culture. Like, for instance, those Babylonian months. We did a teaching on that, on dealing with the Sabbath and all that. And we spoke about them Babylonian months that they used was because they was in Babylonian captivity before they came out, and the Persians took over. So they were speaking that language.
So they go,
you know what I'm saying?
They're going to speak. They're going to have some of that.
They're going to have some of that stuff. That's like us now. We speak slang or whatever.
But when it comes to the book of Daniel, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I was cutting y'all, but and this is really just a question to you. Based off that statement you just said, I agree. But why would it be, if that is the case, why would it be Greek words in there if the Greeks didn't even have contact?
That's what I gotta look at. That's a great question, man. I can't answer that. I would have to look at that. See, but
that's what caught me, because I'm like, the Greeks didn't even conquer. I mean, the Greeks and the Persians didn't even have contact till 300 years later.
But again, listen though. Again, we can always say, that's why there's always translation errors, because it could be the scribes that did that. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I definitely hold to that now. I definitely hold to Jeremiah 8.
Yeah, it could have been the scribes that did that later. That's just like in the Greek, right? The Trinity. Every time I get into something with the Christians, they don't know certain verses was added to the later Greek manuscripts.
Right.
Like the Trinity doctrine, the Father, the Son. Man, that wasn't in the old Codex Alexandrias and all that. They took verses out.
Codex Alexandria,
they took verses out and added verses. You see what I'm saying? And that's how the Trinity doctrine was birthed. Church fathers know about that all, but Christians ignored and used that doctrine. So yeah.
But have you looked at that though? Looked at those things in Daniel?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not in depth, but I'm familiar. When Brother K. Judah did a teaching on that, dealing with something similar to that.
Well, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send it to you. Peer review it. Don't hold back.
I sure enough will, bro.
Don't hold back either. You know what I'm saying?
I sure enough will. I study, I eat, man. So one thing about me, just because you might be Torah only or whatever, I stand on truth. Truth is truth. If it's truth, I got to deal with it. You know what I mean?
But I'm gonna definitely send it to you, because I want to get some peer reviews on it, because I haven't made no video on it. I haven't done anything. It's just a raw straight lecture that I put together. I don't even think I have even structured it, but I just was getting all the archaeological evidence, the Hafliker clay tab from Babylon, you know what I'm saying, and all those things, and put them together, because really, like as of right now, the position that I hold I hold that Daniel chapters 1 through 11 and verse 40 is cool, but anything after that is suspect.
Right. I have my thing too about certain things. Esther, I wrap my head around Esther. I'm being honest. I got to do more research, but I think Esther came later than what they say, and I think it was instituted because it wasn't found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. But that's a whole nother argument. I really don't get into it more because I've done some studying on it, but I don't have enough information to stand on it. You know what I mean?
You have to, when I send you this right there, send me on that, because I haven't heard of that one yet.
Yeah, man. That still wasn't found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and the word Jew is mentioned more than any time in the text. The word Jew is mentioned more times in Esther than any other manuscript.
Oh, that's hateful.
Any other manuscript, bro. Any other manuscript.
Yeah,
they got to do the research, man. So I don't have enough evidence to stand on that. So, but I'm doing research on that.
Before I let you go, you familiar with Sirach, the book of Sirach, right?
Yes.
The main thing that made me question the book of Daniel was Sirach.
Yeah, I look at Sirach as historical information as well. It's in the Dead Sea Scrolls too, and Second Ezra. I look at that. I don't look at it.
Do you know what part I'm talking about in Sirach, though?
I think you're talking about is it 40? Sirach 40 something?
Yeah, I think it's 40. I think it's 49. I think it is.
Yeah. Go ahead, refresh my memory.
Yeah, when he's going over the history of Israel, all the patriarchs, all the prophets.
Yes.
You notice two prophets ain't mentioned there, right?
Yeah. What's the name?
Daniel and Ezra.
Ezra, yeah.
And it's a reason why Ezra wasn't mentioned, because him and Ezra had beef, and you
Yeah,
can see that
yeah.
beef in chapter 50. That said,
Yeah.
but that's what made me start looking at the book of Daniel. I was like, why would Sirach be mentioning all these prophets, but he left Daniel out?
Mm-hmm. And the Sirach is Second Temple. I think it was written during the Second Temple time, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 200 BC. I think.
It's around 200 BC. Yeah,
200 BC.
I got all that. I got every manuscript. I got over 100 Hebrew manuscripts and thousands of Greek manuscripts.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you letting me on, man, because a lot of Israelites be gatekeeping, bro. Especially
all blessed, man. Hey, look, I had to let you know I wasn't scared of you, man, but I was just too busy, man. Plus, my former teacher, he didn't want to deal with this, not because of that. He just felt like you didn't believe in the New Testament, and he was going to go into the New Testament. Me, I don't have to do that from my angles,
Right.
So, but it's all good, man.
You good, man. And it's all love, man. And
it is, my brother. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. Me and you've been tagging each other for like a couple of years. It ain't
years back and forth.
This ain't no. I just beat you last week.
No.
People don't. That's why I tell them they don't really understand what's going on. They ain't
really, it ain't even
Barack right.
and you really ain't even Barack's fault. It is not even Barack's fault. It's I forgot. Oh boy, it's not even there no more. It's his fault. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You talking about my former teacher?
The one that ain't there no more.
Oh, Yashia.
Yeah, it was me and him that was getting into it.
Y'all was.
Me and him. It really wasn't even you.
Hey, he's still around. I mean, I don't see him on Facebook. Address him about it. One thing I can say about him, he ain't. I don't know. He done changed a little bit, but he ain't scared to go live now. I will say that about him.
Man, you took his debate, bro. I don't care what nobody says. You took his. Yeah, this was for him. It wasn't even for you. Because it was the whole thing about the it was what
I remember some of it. Because I tagged in the group when that happened.
Yeah. And this go off for all you Israelites too, man. Y'all gotta stop putting your head out there, man, if you can't hold on to the water, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And I got some of my students, they be saying this and that, and they be trying to run back to me. I'm gonna go get you. No.
That's why, because when you told me that day, you said, man, you're going to get Zion. Man, I ain't going to get nobody, man. One thing about me, I've been studying too long, man. And I ain't gonna talk about something. One thing about me, my humility, I am not going to discuss something that I'm not familiar with. I'm not going to do that. And some of us Israelites do that. We regurgitate what we heard. Sometimes you got to study, even though we have our differences. I'm pretty sure you can see I'm familiar with.
Yeah, you familiar? You hey, right. Yeah. Ain't nobody just gonna step in. Ain't nobody just gonna step in there and not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just be like, oh, I'm finna watch. No, you gonna have to come with it. You have to come.
And I learned some stuff. Trust me, I learned some stuff from you too today. I really did that I didn't know dealing with the Hebrew grammar. And I was taking notes. So, and plus I got the video. So, yeah, all praises, man. I'm gonna let you go, man, and speak to my audience. And
all right, well, shalom, brother, and shalom to your audience. I appreciate you for letting me get on. And may y'all have a beautiful rest of the day. May y'all have a great rest of the week.
Blessings to you, man. Tune in Tuesday, man. I'm gonna let Jediah is gonna answer all questions. So if you got a question, jump in the inbox, man, and ask the question. I'll get an answer.
I do, but I want to talk to. I don't want to do it on the stream.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let them know. Well, come in and introduce yourself, and I'll tell them. See if I can give them your email or something, and you can talk to them then.
Okay, because I know we mess with I know we have some mutual friends with the brother Shabar, Terrence on Facebook, and Judah Israel, not him. So
Shabar stopped talking to me, man. It's a long story, but he stopped talking to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Shabar then, man. But like,
yeah, he know me, man. He got in the inbox, cuss me out. He'll tell you what it's for. I ain't gonna tell you. Let him tell you his side, and then. We'll see, but yeah, you don't talk to me no more, man.
Well, man, hopefully this is the first step, bro. We can, what I'm saying?
Yeah,
put doctrines aside. We could just
absolutely
come together. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't. I try to tell people, I don't care if you believe in the Most High, you cool with me. I don't care what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? It's just that now, if you start coming at me something, I'm gonna have to defend myself with the scripture and this and that. But as far as this and that,
this brother in the chat, Israelite Williams.
Yeah, I know Israelite William.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's the same one that I had a conversation with in Clubhouse. But if it is, I had blocked him on Facebook. If it is, because he said something about my mother, and if that is him, he need to be timed out because it seemed like he disrespectful again. I don't know if that's him, but it seemed he said something.
Well, I don't know if it's the same. It's the same one.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't want to bear false witness. I don't know, but I do know I was in Clubhouse and on Facebook with an Israelite William, and you know I'm not with the gangster talk, and he disrespected me. If he's from New York, and I forgot what part of New York, but if he's from New York, that's a sign because I know he's from New York because I'm from up that way. You know what I'm saying? And I come out the penitentiary, so we don't carry men that same way. You know, we respect all men.
Penitentiary,
you know what I mean? But I don't know if that's him, but I'm not a Facebook tough guy. But I mean, that really hurted me that he disrespected me like that.
Well, I'm going to apologize for him.
Yeah. But I don't even know if it's him. I don't even know if it's him. But if it is him, and I see him in here disrespecting my brother K. Judah, he need to be timed out if that's him. So time him out, Your Honor. But yeah, that's no big deal though, bro. Love you, my man. Man, I look forward to us having a debate and a better dialogue, and hopefully people can stomach it.
Don't forget to send me that email on Esther.
I sure enough will. You talking about on dealing with what I was gonna send you? What about again?
Esther.
Okay, yeah, I'll send you the information about Esther. Yeah,
Esther. And I'm gonna send you that. I'm gonna send you that Daniel so you can peer review it.
Okay, no doubt. All right, my brother.
All right, y'all have a good one, man. Shalom,
shalom. Shalom. All praises. All right, y'all. Let me put my camera on. Y'all got that brother out of here? Because I seen he said some stuff to K. Judah, man. Okay, so that wasn't you, brother Israelite Williams. I'm sorry. It must have been another brother. If you ain't never been on Clubhouse. But this happened on Facebook. The incident I'm talking about, don't time him out yet, y'all. This happened on Facebook. It was an Israelite William on Facebook from New York. I forgot if he was from the Bronx or Brooklyn, and we were going back and forth disagreeing. And the brother, the Israelite brother, I ain't gonna say you, said your mother, you know, this and that. And I was highly upset, you know, and I had blocked the person after that. If that's not you, I truly apologize. But if that is you, you know, I mean, I got the thing on Facebook where I don't forget who I blocked, and it's on, and it's a brother by the name of Israelite Williams, and he's from New York. So anyway, y'all, okay, that's cool, Johanna, that's cool. He was still out of pocket with K. Judah. I want to say to a few of the sisters that and brothers that was thinking that this was contentious. I known this brother for a couple of years, first of all, and I got to commend him because, you know, I had him pegged as arrogant. We know some of the same people, you know, and I just want to say, you know, when brothers have disagreements and they have back and forth, you know, you still can't come to a conclusion that something may seem not edifying or whatever because we in passion or we disagreeing. The purpose of me doing this was to deal with Isaiah 53. If everybody would have known the beginning, and if everybody would have been listening, instead of worried about us going back and forth, with all due respect, you could have learned his position. He was trying to teach that Jeremiah is the suffering servant. And, you know, if you heard my questions, you know, it made him kind of uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Because he was trying to do his presentation, but he agreed formally that I can ask questions in the audience during the presentation. And see, some people, that's kind of can throw people off when you're teaching. And he gave me the due diligence of being respectful. He's never been in a setting like that. And his teachings, he just do a lot of academia and just teach. And that's it, you know, and do debates and all that. And he is a knowledgeable brother. I've always known that. I don't take nothing away from him. And I definitely, truly respect his scholarship. And I do respect his position. But however, this is where I keep telling y'all, scholars, this is why I use scholars only if it lines up with the Bible. If it doesn't, then I have an issue. And if y'all heard those questions that I asked, those were important questions. Also, the manuscript. He's right. The blue letter has errors, but the manuscript he pulls up has errors as well. Some of them don't, but all manuscripts. One thing I want y'all to know, and if y'all ain't seen, are there any errors, translation errors, go look at our video. I can teach y'all, family, stuff that y'all don't even know, that then I took verses out the Old Testament and the New Testament and added stuff to the text. So y'all can't come in here, one thing about, I can speak about K. Judah, and I can speak about my former teacher. I can speak about Divine Prospect. I can speak about Zion Lex. I can speak about Dante Forson. But I will say this, K. Judah, Zion Lex, Divine Prospect, me, my former teacher, and a few others that I may be forgetting, only allows on-site questions during teachings, right? So when you got these teachers, and no disrespect to the teachers that just play their videos and do their teachings and not, it's different when you're being questioned about what you're teaching. It's a whole different animal. Okay, Judah said, when your feet to the fire and you're getting the questions asked, now you find out how sound doctrine your teachings are. This is edification, y'all. Y'all see, for those who disagree and thought there was a contention and the argument, I know this brother for a couple of years. This ain't no hate. I don't hate him. I thought he was arrogant, but guess what? He knows some people I know, and I know some people he know. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm known in the social media outlet as very knowledgeable. Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube, I'm known because I've been in these debate rooms. I've been in these Christian debate rooms. And I'm not saying this that I know everything. I'm a student. People will tell you when they get to me, I shut my mouth up if I don't know what I'm talking about and not familiar. I'm not going to take dialogues that I'm not familiar with. And he just bear witness to that and told y'all. Just like I know he's knowledgeable. But one thing y'all need to understand, y'all have to not get uncomfortable when y'all see stuff like this. This is how we learn. This is how we learn. This is how we learn. You want to hear the contention. Long as we ain't calling each other names and disrespect them. Yeah, we overtalked a few times. I had to tone it down and shut up and let them keep going. I had to stop because, honestly, great point, Johanna. Teaching and presentations are two different lanes. You must be apt to teach also. Not everyone can. And that's the truth. You have to be built for this type of stuff to be able to be cross-examined while you're being taught. Y'all cross-examine me all day in here. And I'm patient with y'all. Y'all be asking these questions that be left field and all that. I'm built for this because I'm used to debating and all that. When I was a 5%er, I used to debate before I was even in this truth. So for those who, and I'm not attacking y'all, for those who think it wasn't edifying or nothing, this is a learning. Always come in with an open mind to learn other people's dialogue as well as ours. I'm pretty sure everybody here believe Isaiah 53 is the Messiah. If you heard the beginning of everything, I threw him off with Asham. If you go back and listen to the beginning, that set the whole tone. And I had to realize, let me show y'all something, man. How much Bow Wow study. Let me show y'all something. Seriously. Y'all see this? Let me put this camera up. I don't know if y'all can see this with this glare. Y'all see all these papers? I got this notes and notes and notes and notes and questions of stuff. That's why I said it's better for me just to do the debate. I got over 400 and something questions about this. And it's dealing with the Hebrew and everything. And if I'd have unleashed everything, we'd have been here all night, but it would have been stuff he was stuck on. I'm just being honest. Y'all seen how he stopped and had to think. I ain't just no spring babe in this truth. And it's stuff that I've been studying for years and know about. I know these arguments. And just because you may know Hebrew more than me, you're not going to get around me with stuff because I understand. And when I took reading and comprehension, I know what a noun is. I know what a verb is. I know what grammar text is. I know what syntax is. This is why I told y'all I hear people say Hebrew ain't important to learn. I respectfully disagree. You know why? He brought up something that was very powerful. I think the whole audience missed. He showed an error in Jonah on the Hebrew manuscript. I'm telling you right now, and I'm not saying this. If you've been in this truth 4 to 5 years, if you've been in this truth, you should learn Hebrew, because you know why? If I get on somebody's platform that's saying that, I'm going to take them to some English versions in the Bible. And K. Judah, we did a teaching on K. Judah's channel. Does the Bible have translation errors? Not the manuscripts, the English. I will get on people's channel. I don't care what teacher it is. And I will go through verses and show them that this is wrong. This is not what it's saying in Hebrew. That's one. Two, I will show them verses removed that they evilly put in the text. You got to have a strong faith to believe in Yah to see this, because some people, I know people, scholars that left the truth, not the truth, but then left the belief of Christ, period. They don't believe in God no more, nothing. These are scholars that, because what they did to these books. But I know what the Torah say. Don't add and take away. So we still have to have faith, but we still need to be able to study and know what these things is. And if you don't know Hebrew, you're going to get lost. If you teaching people don't worry about the Hebrew, just the English, you're teaching in error. Seriously, man, because I can take you to certain feasts and laws that's in English. It don't mean that. And you could be keeping the law wrong. It ain't just the law. You could be doing things wrong. People believe in the Trinity, and it was added to the text. Even the church fathers say it was wrong. But they ignore all that because everybody just wants to believe everything that's written in English is what it is. That's why I said, yeah, K. Judah made a great point. These babes learning Jesus. I don't knock people for saying Jesus. I don't even knock people for relying on the English. But once you get into a certain level, you have to expand your thought process and start understanding, because you will run into somebody well-studied to show you a book. I'm going to show y'all something right now. I'm going to show you something right now. Just for the sake of what I'm saying. Y'all. One of the thing about here, and I know for K. Judah, you're gonna get taught over here the right way, and you can ask questions over here. That's it. I don't try to know everything, but I know one thing. Let me get on the panel. People tell me it's not important. I'm gonna take them to verses. I said, well, can I show you some examples why it is very important? And then they ain't gonna be able to answer because they're not familiar with this stuff. I'm telling you, a lot of people are not familiar with this stuff, and some people have answers. Now, the Torah only people have an issue with this, and me and that brother had a conversation on Facebook about this. But I'm gonna show you something, because I deal with manuscripts. I deal with a lot of stuff that people don't have because I spent the money to get it to study. And I'm going to get off here. I'm supposed to have been running errands with my wife. She gone already, y'all. My wife telling me, stop over talking them. She just like y'all, some of y'all sisters in here. You talk about this, y'all over talking each other. This, y'all women so sensitive. Good gracious. I love y'all though, man. Isaiah. Let me see. Is it this verse? Okay, yeah. See right here, and can everybody see my screen? Type of 1 if you can see my screen. Type of 1 real quick. And I'm not going to go through all the manuscripts to show this, but if anybody need the exact notes to this, I will send them everything, because I don't want to be here another 20, 30 minutes or nothing, because I would have to go through, show you everything, but I'm going to send you everything. I just want to make sure you see y'all see it. Type of 1. Okay, good. Isaiah 32:43, y'all. They took the Messiah out of this verse. Now we in the Torah, right? It says, rejoice, O nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants and will render vengeance into his adversary and will be merciful into the land and to his people, right? Now, I'm going to read the verse. Give me a minute. To the correct translation. 1 second. Give me a minute. 1 minute. One minute, y'all. I'm trying to find my Septuagint. All right, 1 second. All right, here we go. So I read the first verse. It says, I'm going to read it again. Rejoice, O you nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servant and will render vengeance to his adversaries and will be merciful unto the land and to his people. Now, the Dead Sea Scrolls and 4Q, that's Cave Q. If you need this information, just email me. I'll send everything to you. It says this: rejoice, O angels, rejoice, O heavens, with him, and let all the angels of Aliyam worship him. Rejoice, O nations, with his people, and let all the sons of Aliyam strengthen themselves for him, for he will avenge the blood of his sons. That's in the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? That's the original manuscript for Deuteronomy 32:43. Now, let's go to the Septuagint. The Septuagint says the same thing. Rejoice, O nations, let all the sons of Aliyam strengthen him. Let the angels worship him. I'm paraphrasing. Now, I'm going to go to Hebrews 1, and I'm going to show you something. Hebrews 1:6 says, and again, when he bringing in the first begotten into the word, he said, and let all the angels of Aliyam worship him. This is a direct quote out of Deuteronomy 32:43, family, about the Messiah. And y'all telling me my Messiah don't exist? This is a direct, they removed and played with this in the Torah on the manuscript. And if you look at the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is older than the Linux Codex, if you look at the Dead Sea Scrolls, it says it, Deuteronomy 32:43. It says, rejoice, O angels of Aliyam. So my point to y'all is, in the manuscript, it says that, but they removed it because Paul was quoting Deuteronomy 32:43. Can I prove this? Yes, I can prove it. And you said the Dead Sea Scrolls was written in two languages, also the last book of the Old Testament, also written. Respectfully, I don't know how far along you are with your studies. The Dead Sea Scrolls was written in a lot of languages. They found different manuscripts. They found some Greek manuscripts. I'm sorry, but not in the same. Well, there was some found in the same caves. Please forgive me. The Septuagint was translated from Hebrew into Greek, right? You do have Aramaic, but you do have Ge'ez as well. Jubilees was written in Ge'ez in the Second Temple period. So you do have various languages. So it's not just Hebrew and Aramaic. I just want to point that out. And great point you put up. But my point to y'all, if y'all don't see that, Deuteronomy 32:43, this is why it's important to know Hebrew. Don't let nobody tell you. If you're a babe, you don't need to force that on nobody about no Hebrew. That's what K. Judas, I agree with that. Let them start learning. Don't go running them to the Hebrew first. They're not ready. But if you are 5 years in, you studying this word, please learn the Hebrew. Because I will drown a teacher telling me it don't mean nothing. I'm telling you, I would. This is not out of disrespect and acting like I know everything. We have a lot of errors. That brother that said what he said about the King James, that's what he should have said. He didn't say it right, but he is right. This blue letter we use, he got to understand. See, this is why I knew he's not. I might need to help him along with manuscripts. This blue letter we use just don't have the King James version. It has all the translation versions. So I agree. King James version Bible that we use, and I do use it, has the most translation errors. That's why I recommend if you're a babe, get the New King James Version or the NIV or the ESV when you're just learning. Yeah, get that. I use it because we want to use it so we can point out stuff like this. We can point out the errors. And if you have not seen the video of us dealing with that on K. Judah's channel, go look at it. We showed a lot of errors, but people misinterpret that saying, now you're saying the Bible's tampered with. No, the English is the issue. The Hebrew's the same. That's why I pointed that out to that brother. That brother that was just on here. That word Asham is on the same manuscript he got because we looking at the same thing. Y'all, that went above y'all head. Y'all didn't even see that. We was looking at the same manuscript. He just had a problem with it because the blue letter King James Version has a lot of errors. But he could never show the difference in the manuscript. He couldn't. And so that's why I said we need to be here listening. Everybody worry about, and I'm not attacking y'all, family. I'm just trying to help that sometimes disagreements will get a little passionate, but we need to look at the facts and look at what's being taught. He showed some stuff in there in Hebrew that I seen that was wrong that he said. And I'm going to point that out in the debate. That's because I done studied enough to know. I've been taught enough to know. I done sat in Zion Lex class and I'm sitting in Jedediah's class. And just the little bit I know, my wife know more than me. And my wife came right behind me and looked, and she is more, she can't read as fast like he can, but she can look at the manuscript and read it slow and stutter a little bit here, but she seen it too. She's like, yeah, definitely, and I'm gonna point that out in the debate. This ain't about knowing everything. But again, family, I just wanted to, what am I right about, Corey? Much love to my brother Shalom. What I'm right about? What you mean? Yeah, but okay, I don't know why you apologizing, man. You always been all right with me. I hope I didn't offend nobody for getting on us about the contentions and all that. That's not my intention, y'all. Please, y'all just have to sometimes understand. People gonna come on here and they're gonna look at stuff. And understand, and especially new people, and think we arguing. But I got a lot of respect for him. Especially more, because if y'all seen how arrogant he was with me on Facebook, and I didn't even know this was about my former teacher first. That's who he wanted to debate. I didn't even know that. And I promise you, I knew they was going at it, but he just told me it was never for me. And that was interesting that he said that. I didn't know that part. And I jumped in it, And I got a lot of respect for that brother. I really do. He is knowledgeable. I don't hate him. We do go back and forth and bump heads, but now I got a great deal of respect for him because I see he's a lot more knowledgeable than I thought too. And I see that's why I said I learned. Not only did I see some errors, I seen some stuff he taught me. See, that's one thing about me, y'all may not know. Just because I'm sitting there listening and going back and forth, I'm listening to the presentation. I seen y'all was getting frustrated because a lot of that stuff y'all wasn't familiar with. I am. And I'm not saying that to be, bragging or nothing, because I studied it. And he brought out some stuff that was factual too, that I got to go back and fact check. That I'm like, wait, this might be accurate right here. So, y'all can't come in and just because y'all don't know what's going on, y'all start making assumptions. Please try to learn, So I just wanted to point that out to y'all about, don't listen to people saying how important it's not important. If you're learning, it's not important right now. If you're new, if you new, it's not important. Corey, what did I do, my brother? Type in. I'm waiting for you to respond. But yeah, don't get discouraged, y'all, because if you go back and look at all our videos, we got a lot of brothers of different doctrines in our library that we dealt with. We got camp brothers that we dealt with. Some of them were worse than us. We had to cut it off. They was cussing us out and everything because they were trying to prove Cornelius was an Israelite, which was false. I done talked to a community. I've talked to an older moray that I had to back away, calm down, and not go hard on them. They teach that sacrifices are still being done right there in Miami, Florida. They doing sacrifices right now without a temple. I got the Lunar Sabbath dude come on here We destroyed them. I'm talking about rip that the whole doctrine apart. Y'all should want to be able to hear this, especially you teachers that's teaching. When people come and challenge you, you need to be able to teach. Don't get upset because people disagree. Get in your comments and telling you you're wrong or false. Yeah, if they don't want to listen, keep going. But me, I'm going to go live with whatever NHIF teach and we believe. I don't care how much more you know than me. I'm not going to let the scholars persuade me. That's what everybody got tricked with the Babylonian, with the 4 months that we exposed that teaching. Because they used those Babylonian words, people believe that they inherited a Babylonian Sabbath based off of academia. Nah, brother. My Yah said that he was in the midst of these transition of them getting back out of under the Persian rule, and he was in the midst when they was reading the law. That's what the scriptures say. See, I'm spiritual. When the scriptures say he in the midst, I take that as literally, not no figuratively. He literally there. The spirit of Yah is there, and he's making sure everything is right. And if it's wrong, they keeping something false in Jerusalem at that. Keeping false, because if they're keeping a false Sabbath, they're keeping a false sacrifice. Family, think about that. If they're keeping a false Sabbath, they're keeping a false sacrifice. And you think Yah allowed them to go back into Israel and keep a sacrifice? Because you got to do a sacrifice for the new moon, and you got to do a sacrifice for the Sabbath. So these dudes running around and teaching that off of scholarship, you are wrong. You are wrong teaching that. Because we transitioned out of into the Persian rule, and Ezra and Nehemiah was the leaders, and Yah was dealing with both of them. You're going to tell me some garbage, we keeping the fake Sabbath evening to evening. Get out of here. Get out of here. Y'all lean on the scholars and be judged. When Yah said, didn't you read my book where my words say I was in the midst of them? You thought that was just an idiom? If you teaching that, that's going to be held against you. Because when I see that Yah is in the midst, he's in the midst. When I see Yah put a lion spirit on him, I believe that. I believe that in the book of Kings or Judges. Yah put a lion spirit, I believe that. That's right. He was there, Yahweh Blue. So I thank Yah for everybody coming in. It was edifying for me, definitely. I hope it was edifying for some of y'all. I know some of y'all got upset. Y'all viewed as contentious. I pray that y'all try to understand people got different beliefs. That brother has every right to come in and do what he did. We apologize if we offended anybody because y'all thought it was contention. That wasn't our intention. We both was passionate, but I respectfully disagree. That is my Messiah in Isaiah 53, hands down. And when I take this debate, y'all gonna see a lot more in me that y'all didn't see. I had a lot of questions, but I frustrated them. And I think it would have got worse if I wouldn't have just take a few steps back and said, let me just fall back. Because not only he was getting frustrated, people in the audience was getting frustrated. So I had to take that into consideration. So if you're that type of person, when we have these dialogues, you might not want to watch it because I don't want to offend y'all. You know, me trying to defend the truth. And y'all think, but it was always going to be respectful. And, you know, I don't want to defend under the sisters, especially the sisters, y'all, the ones that get upset quick over this type of stuff. And that's not my intentions, man. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, y'all had it. Most definitely. Okay, Judy, you still in here? Love you, bro, man. You know, I ain't know who that brother was. But I didn't even catch everything. I was just seeing bits of it at the end. Yeah, no problem, Abashah. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. All praise to Yah. Tune in, y'all, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll bring y'all questions. This brother is my teacher in Hebrew. So he's a humble brother. He welcomes all questions. If you want to come on, he's not debating nobody. He ain't going to overtalk you. If you got questions and you want to come on a panel, email me. I'll send you the link so you can ask questions because you want to learn. Even if you disagree, you can tell him why, and he'll explain his position. You can ask questions in the chat. And, you know, I got questions. Still, I got to purge this old Hebrew out that I've been learning. And like y'all heard the brother say, I used to attack that brother that was just on here about the Yiddish. I used to attack that brother about the Yiddish. But evidently he didn't see my video where I came back and apologized to everybody and humbled myself and realized I was wrong. And I did do that. Y'all got receipts of me doing that. It's not Yiddish. And my former teacher taught that. I hope he repent for that because he taught me that. That's right. That's right, sis. I respect that. Donnie, y'all, look, I ain't upset at y'all being upset, but my wife was even like, she don't like to see that either. So I understand, but sometimes y'all just got to sit back and let the men get it out, as long as it ain't crazy, and be respectful and try to listen to what the arguments are, But one thing y'all do know, and I see y'all hand and K. Judah see it, what was important about this, y'all, he got kind of uncomfortable with them questions. If you go back and listen to the beginning, he was shocked that I asked him questions. Then he was shocked about the Zechariah and them. Those are tough questions. Because you got to prove their idioms. You can't, just because you look at what you looked at and show that it just don't mean figuratively. Hebrew definitions have various definitions depending on context. And if you read Zechariah 12, that's talking about the Messiah too. That didn't happen to no Jeremiah. And even if it's figuratively, where's that at in the text where we can show that happened to somebody? We know we can point that to the Messiah, Zechariah 12. That ain't nothing, family. I got so much more ammunition over here. It's ridiculous. And when I debate him about it, we're going to get into these Hebrew manuscripts, some things that he missed. And I'm going to show y'all. But I had to back off because I see everybody was getting uncomfortable and this and that. Some people left, and I pray that they go back and look, because they could have learned from something. Sometimes, because you don't know what's going on, you need to sit back and listen, and you might be able to learn instead of just thinking things are contentious, because he was showing some stuff that was very important too. Believe that. And he's a knowledgeable brother. So again, y'all, thank everybody. I love y'all. Prayers to each and every one of y'all. I love y'all with a pure heart, like my brother K. Judah said. I know he probably got to get some rest. He got to work tonight, so I ain't going to bother him. He'll hit me up tonight and talk to me about whatever this brother was doing in the chat. Hannah, appreciate you holding the chat. Appreciate all the new people that came in. Please, if I offended y'all, that's not who okay, let me catch Corey. That's what I was waiting on. Hold on. That's what I was talking about. He started making me frustrated. Yeah, because you was asking him questions and making him stand on it. And he was still, he was. That's what a lot of people didn't understand. They came in the middle and didn't understand this was an open dialogue. And y'all should have been asking questions too. Nobody really had no questions. If they did, I missed them. But yeah, that's what y'all should have did too. Y'all should have been asking questions because this is a hot topic, like Yahudi Blue said. Everybody's talking about this. Zion did a big debate about it a couple of months ago. And Zion used to be Torah only. And he did a debate with a knowledgeable brother. Jediah, that's coming on Tuesday, he was Torah only. He was born in the truth. He ain't never get converted, nothing. His father was in the truth. He's born in the truth. He speaks Hebrew fluently, Paleo Hebrew fluently. I'm learning over there from him now. And the structure is beautiful over there. And I will say this. Both of them, Zion's a great teacher too. Just some things that I disagree with and respectfully, and it wasn't about the teachings at all. Had nothing to do with the teaching. And he's a good brother. I'm not slandering. None is just some things just wasn't comfortable for my structure and my schedule and everything else that played a part. Because I do have a ministry I have attend to, and it conflicted a lot of stuff. And Jediah's schedule was perfect for me and my wife, because she had to change a lot of stuff in her schedule. So that's why I transferred over to Jediah, and the structure is a lot better for me over there. And that's why I'm learning. So not taking nothing away from Brother Zion. He taught me a lot that the little time I was over there, and a lot of stuff that I learned. He didn't even know nothing about this debate. I never told him about, not a debate, but this dialogue. I never told him nothing about it. I never told anybody about it because I'm not the one to go ask people for answers. I'm the one that I pray. I get on my knees and pray, ask y'all to give me the guidance to study. But for blessings to this, I knew about this teaching 8-9 years ago, and I've been had notes on it. I got book bags and bookshelves. I got 3 bookshelves in my house of books I done read. Remember, I don't come out of the Google and Chat GPT teachings. I come out of reading books entirely, front page to back page. And as y'all begin to see me, because I was in the back of the light with my former teacher, I wasn't out in the front like this, but I got to be because I got Ben and Yah, and he's a student teacher and he's learning. And pretty soon I'm going to be able to just shut up again and not say nothing and share stuff with him and allow him to teach it all the time. Because he's got to get the culture aspect, the manuscripts, all that. That's why I come in, identity, language, culture, the manuscripts, whether it's Hebrew, Greek, all that. But please, family, take my advice. If you're 4 to 5 years in, don't tell nobody, don't let nobody tell you it's not important to learn Hebrew. Please do not. Do not let nobody tell you that. Because it is important. You would get drowned in English. And there's a lot of mistakes in English that y'all don't. I just showed y'all one. If you want that information, I'll send everything to you. What the Dead Sea Scrolls say, the Septuagint, people got to understand about the Septuagint. We can use the Septuagint. You know why? It came from Hebrew. That Greek New Testament didn't come from Hebrew. It's just Greek. We got Hebrew manuscripts over in Israel. They won't release. New Testament Hebrew manuscripts, ancient, they will not release. We played a video of a scholar that lived over there telling them that. These 1948ers won't release them because that'll open up a whole new can of worms. Because there's probably stuff in there that ain't even saying what it's saying in Greek. See what I'm saying? So don't get caught up on Septuagint. The Septuagint is legit. It comes out found in the Dead Sea Scrolls in Greek, but it came translated not from English to Greek, from Hebrew to Greek. And we can stand on it. That translation that I call is in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And y'all got copies of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Some of y'all have been fellowshipping. It's in that Dead Sea Scrolls what I just read, and it's in the Septuagint what I just read, which is different from Deuteronomy 32:43, which lines up with Hebrews 1:6. They took that out. That's why when you look in the Hebrew scriptures and you look in the Torah, the ah and the tha. I'm saying that in an old Hebrew. I don't know how I forgot how Jedediah said it, but I have him mention it Tuesday. It's all through the Old Testament, the first and last. That's the Messiah. That's why it's all through, because it was in Deuteronomy 32 where they was talking about the angels who were going to bow down and worship to him. Paul is quoting that direct quote like that out of Deuteronomy 32 and Hebrews 1:6. Shalom, I love y'all with a pure heart. I pray that I didn't offend anybody. Those who left, please forgive me if I got offended. But you have to sometimes just hear out the matter and try to understand what's going on instead of just assuming and running to judgment that this was contentious or disrespectful or any case may be. That brother's position, he believes Isaiah is Jeremiah. We got to pray for him. This is a salvational issue. Everybody should have wanted to listen to this. This is important. I'm trying to help this brother. We soul winners over here. And as I continue to talk to him, I'm continue to pray for him. Because one thing I noticed about him, he said something that was key. Y'all missed something he said. He said that Jedediah proved that the Messiah was born through the virgin birth, and he agreed with it. Whether he disagreed with the New Testament or not, he agreed with how he proved it. That's a step right there and a sign. That's how Zion got woke up. Not because of Jedediah. Zion did his own research. He was Torah only. I remember when Zion was Torah only, mocking the New Testament believers. And now he's seen it. And I'm praying that, you know how powerful that'd be if that brother convert. So we shouldn't give up on stuff like that, y'all. Read for yourself. That's right, y'all. Love y'all. Shalom, shalom, blessings. Everybody have a blessed Sunday. Tune in Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Ahava, shalom.
Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. I made a promise, can't nobody take it. I chose to put you above all the nations. Out of your graves, I chose to awaken. We made a covenant, don't you forsake it. Come get protected while they going crazy. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. I woke you up in your land of captivity. I do not change, I want you to remember me. Laws and commandments, I gave you the remedy. Go read the testimonies for your memory. I sent them prophets, but you wasn't hearing me. I come to you if you really come near to me. I heard your cry, now it's time to take it of me. I know what got you from all of your enemies. Who you know open the sea. Them waters was bitter, but I made it sweet. In case you ain't know how to swim, I'm your protector, so I made you walk on your feet. This a reminder you married to me. I just want you to be all I called you to be. They called you niggas, but I made you priests. I'm about to give you back everything. I'm sending plagues for you. I'm sending boys, drying up rivers. I leave them dead for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. For you, you only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel, I'm the reason you in captivity. We made a covenant, you ain't remember me. You broke the covenant, I sent your enemy. Get out my lane since you wasn't fearing me. I'm the reason they put you in chains. I'm the reason they switched up your name. I'm the reason why you in the hood. I'm the reason of all your pain. I'm sending flows fast, daily. Think I don't love you. Y'all my babies, gave my son. Must be crazy. Come out that system, come out of that lady. They got that military when I face me. It would not move me, it would not graze me. Remember Egypt, I did all that for my people. You only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. You only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel.